everyone, and welcome to FreeThinkers Fireside, where we put the human and human as one cozy chat at a time. My name is Helen, also known as House Bells. Okay, so Dr. Ben is supposed to be here. I DM'd him, and we had set a time for 7 o'clock. My guess is he's on ACA time or Central time, so that means that he probably forgot that this actually started at 7. So we're gonna wait for Ben to show up. I bet you $10 he's gonna say, "Hey, hi, honey. I didn't miss Twitter. Hello." Mwah. So we're waiting for Ben. I have a sneaky suspicion that he was in that. Oh, it's like 7 p.m. his time, which is 8 p.m. my time, but it's 7 p.m. now. So I'm gonna see if that's the case. If it is, then I know what happened. So we'll wait. So I went to the protest today for the No Kings protest. It was not bad. I tell you, yes. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Ms. Dakota. Thank you. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so I went to the No Kings protest this morning. A lot more people showed up than the hands off one. So that was really cool. I got a bunch of compliments on my college educated evil feminist slut t-shirt, so that was nice. So it was a good it was a good turnout. It was only like for 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Because I'm glad it wasn't in the afternoon because it's hot as balls in Florida. So it wasn't too bad. A lot of people have been showing up to these protests, which is great. I like even the footage online of the ones in like New York and shit are very inspiring, despite the fact that everything is bonkers crazy. So, but I'm in a good place, guys. I'm in a good place. Feeling good about the world becoming a better place. I think okay, not about, I feel like the wonderful people like in the world that we're all everybody's doing okay. So I'm not gonna complain. Because I know it's hard because things are like crazy daisy. Guys, I know that, but it is what it is. But at least when I go to the protests, I feel inspired, and I'm like, oh, there's still people that care about democracy. Yay, yay, yay! Self-enforced optimism, exactly. Oh, this is what keeps me from screaming into the void and also whine. So there's that. So yeah. Oh my God, Ben, movie butt. And this is where I gotta like fill up the ether and just talk to the camera until Ben shows up. So oh, if you were not here the other night, Nancy from the Apostate Sisters sent me a squeezy boob, and I love it. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I'm so happy, and I get to pull on the nipple. So it's very entertaining to me. I'm 5. So here we are. Oh my God. So yeah, that was very boob. It's a boob. I love the boob. Let me squeeze the titty. Squeeze the titty. So I wish I had something more interesting to talk about. Here you are. We're waiting for Ben. I think he maybe he forgot that this was at 7 p.m. my time. So, but I'm encouraged that he will get my DM and go, oh shit, and I'll do one of those. I think that's going to happen. Even if I have to sit here and talk for a little bit, I will. I wish I had more interesting stuff to talk about. Because there's not a whole lot going on. Oh well, I did make my final plan preparations to go see Ben for a week right before Back Cruise, and then we're gonna go to Back Cruise for the ACA. So that's exciting. I bought my ticket for Back Cruise. So yeah. Oh, you maybe still at the protest? Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe, I don't know. I wonder if it's the same as Texas though, because he's in El Paso, which is also hot as balls. Because like ours was at 9 in the morning today. What I think happened, AR, is that he's an hour ahead of me. So I think because he's an hour ahead of me, he got confused in the time, which has happened before. So I think that's what happened. Because I think because he had every intention to be here, and he like double checked with me the other day. So I if it's, and plus he like liked a couple of my comments, like a couple of messages. We were talking back and forth on Messenger. So I think he would like DM me if he couldn't come or if he was running late. So I really think it's that he thinks it's at 7 his time. So which is fine, you know. Like it's happened before. So yeah, right. I haven't watched your video yet, man. I'll watch it later. I got it, and then I came home and I did some cleaning, and then I started playing Blueprints, and I got distracted, and then I'm here now. So I'll watch the video you sent me, John. Oh, and probably so because John apparently wants me to share a bunch of stuff from the protest today, so I will on my socials. So I will do that for you, John. Um, That's just a clip, Helen. Okay, that's just a clip. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna watch that later. I promise. Um, like 15 seconds. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna watch it. Are you doing like a whole series of videos? Are you gonna get like a long stream thing? With the stuff that you saw. What went on today? Oh my god, I can't use words today, guys. Apparently, the English language is not my forte today. Um, Jesus, Lord Christ. That doesn't exist. How did I get it? How did I get into the atheism scene? I don't know. Like, um, well, I started. How did I get into the atheist scene? That's like a question. I started when back during COVID when I wasn't working. I needed something to do, and I was watching. Um, I seen Dr. Ray on a bunch of different. Oh wow, 4 hours shit. Um, bigger than I thought. It was especially the Kansas. Oh, me and KW went to our local protest. It was bigger than I thought. Especially in our little red city. Like I live in a very red county, and there was over 2,000 people when we went to the hands off. There was more at this one, so that was very encouraging. So I think more people are now getting pissed off. Because it's chaos. So anyway, how did I get into the answering your question? I got into the atheism scene because back during COVID, I had seen like Dr. Ray on a bunch of different podcasts, and he was talking about like recovering from religion. So I was like, oh, okay. So I filled out an application to volunteer with RFR, and I started doing like more behind the scenes stuff. Like I was doing like support groups, and I was like a hotline agent for like a hot minute, and then I realized that wasn't for me. But instead I started doing support groups, and then I started going to the RFRX talks, and then through that I started helping produce and became a co-host. And then through that I also started doing like fundraising for recovering from religion. So that was really cool. I did that for a while, and then I left RFR back in when did I leave? I want to say I left a few months ago. I left recovering from religion, but I'm going to be volunteering with RFR Australia with Sherry, and then through that, I started going on people's podcasts as ambassador, like promoting RFR. And then through that, I became an activist. And then I started doing the nonprofits with the ACA, and it kind of snowballed from there. And then I decided that I want to start my own channel. So here we are. So yeah, RFR Australia. Yeah, with Sherry D'Souza, where she's one of my dear friends and like the one of the nicest people. And she's a big old sweet potato. So yeah. So, AR, we didn't have any. I think we saw one guy with a MAGA hat, and then this Marine like went up to him and basically like kind of shooed him away. So other than that, there was no counter protest, though there was an asshole and like a company truck. I wish I had gotten the company name that threw coal on a old lady because they were okay. Thanks, John. That I just thought it was kind of an asshole move. Like, don't do that, guys. Like, don't throw coal on old people. It's not a good look. So other than that, like there was a little bit of a police presence. But they kind of, weren't really paying attention to us, so that was good. So all not a bad day, I have to say. It could have been worse, so I was pretty happy. So yeah, it was not a bad day at the protest today. So I'm glad it was funny. The hands off one, there was more MAGA guys, and there was like a handful of them. And what was really funny is that like after a while, like there was like a couple thousand of us, and then there was like I think like a handful. Like I think I can count on like one hand how many MAGA guys were there. And there was one guy that was like driving around in a Jeep and playing like playing loud music, and he had like a bunch of Trump stickers on his car and stuff like that. And that was like the most annoying part of the last one. But this one, like there was no MAGA guys, so it's nice. So yeah, that's funny. That's when like the 10 MAGA. Yeah, like it's like, oh, you're trying. Oh, that's cute. I was just very glad like there was no concern. Um um I'm sure like yeah, yeah, that's the thing about like, whenever you're doing these protests, is like just remain peaceful and you'll be fine. Know your rights. Todd, just in case, had was watching a video my husband yesterday on what to do. There's like tear gas, because that was a concern. We live in a very like smaller county, but you never know because people are jerks. So at least that that didn't happen where people felt uncomfortable. So small miracles, I guess. So but it was a like a good morning. Yeah, if you see random bricks. Yeah, you just kind of, if you like, and like I think that like with the MAGA guys, like they want to be reactionary, they want people to react to them, they want people to you know you know uh light fires or whatever, to like so they can feel that they own the libs or whatever. I definitely feel owned, guys. Yeah, we had a bunch of queer people at ours too. I like my friend pointed out, my roommate, that they wanted next one we have to bring like a queer flag, and I said, oh, I have one. I do have my progress flag. So which is this. So I'm gonna put it up here as a reminder. That way I have to get oh fuck. I want to get a flagpole for it, and it should be fine. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But there was a bunch of older queers too, which was really great. Because my county is like a lot older people live here, and there's a lot of old queers, which was really great. I really appreciate that, but like they kept saying like, it's so nice to see young people. Like a couple people said that, like, so this woman said that to me, and I was like, oh, that makes me feel good, because I'm 48. That's so considered a young person. It's very nice. I'm a young person. It's the good skin, guys. That's what it is. So, oh, that's a bummer that you didn't bring the Rebel Alliance flag. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a flagpole for my queer progress flag. So I know. I'm not convinced I'm 48 either. But I'm going through perimenopause, so that's definitely reminding me. It's good genes. Like I look about 10 years younger than my age, just because my mom, good genetics and staying out of the sun, because I'm a vampire. And like, that's one thing about like, being a goth growing up, that you don't go in the sun. So Yeah, it's and plus, like, I don't really want to, like, ruin my skin. Think about the skin cancers, not that great. So, so great. Um, oh my god, Ben, move your butt. So I bet he forgot. That's gay. Talking to myself. Yeah, we had a lot of older people to this. They were having to see all the younger folks. But yeah, it's very nice to have like the younger people there. It was very cool. Yeah, don't go in the sun, guys. Don't go in the sun. Just don't. It's how this is how you get this. Don't go in the sun. um which is ironic since I live in Florida, but it is hot as balls out there right now. It's been like it's the current temperature is 92, but it feels about 100. So, it's gross. I hate it. I and like the thing is though, like I moved down here like 20 years ago because I was like, I don't want to deal with New Hampshire winters anymore because they suck. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna move to Florida. And the first few years I lived here, it wasn't so bad. But then like every year it gets increasingly more hot and humid. And thank you global warming. So much. Thank you so much. It is too yeah, the humidity is gross. Like I'm gonna be like I have a feeling though I'm gonna be like when I'm in Texas in August. It's gonna be about the same. I don't know if it's like a dry heat though, because I've been to, okay, technically I have been to Texas. I've been in the Houston airport. So I have touched down in Texas. I have been in the state. But this is my first time actually seeing Texas. So there's that. So oh, speaking of queer, I got my nails done today and they're gay. I got pride nails done today. So my nail tech spent a lot of times hand painting these. So I was very, very appreciative. So I'm showing off my nails. Oh, Houston is humid. Okay. Well, so I'm assuming like maybe Austin is, and we're going to be going to the other side of the state first, and then going to Austin. So I'll see a good portion of it, and I'm going. Well, I'm going to the other side of the state. I'm going to go to El Paso, and then from El Paso, we're going to be driving to Austin. So, for that cruise. So I don't know if is El Paso humid. I don't know. It's basically Mexico. So I don't know. I'm so used to like living in Florida where it's always humid, and even like when it's cold out, the air gets cold, because there's so much moisture in the air. So yeah, no, El Paso is okay. Okay, so okay, all right. What Texas is dry heat 95 to 100. Okay, all right. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. Well, I mean, I am choosing to go in summer. That was a choice. Should I have? I don't like, just because I want to go to back cruise and hang out with my friends. I'm going to go at that time of year where the part of my brain that's saying, like, why are you doing that, Helen? Why are you doing this to yourself? I'm like, because brain, we're going to go hang out with our friends. And it's like, you're going to be uncomfortable. And I'll be like, yes, this is true. I will be uncomfortable. Um, the and like it's funny because like I'm gonna go to New Hampshire first to go see my family for the weekend, and then I'm hopping a plane from New Hampshire to El Paso. So um and then I'm spending a week in Texas, and then I will be home the following Monday after back cruise. So I'm gonna go for 10 days. But it'll be fun. I'm kind of bummed because the husband can't go because he doesn't have enough PTO to go. So I'm a little bit sad, because I would really like for him to come with me and hang out with all the people, but he can't. So it will just I'm doing my vacation by myself. um, so yeah. Let me see. Should I DM? All right. Okay. So a week. I want to just hide. Well, yes, I'm doing. Well, because this is what we're having. Like, hey, AJ, we're waiting for Ben. Okay, so because I'm going to fly to El Paso, and then I'm going to get there on Monday, and I think we're going to drive to Austin on Thursday. I think so. We can be there for Friday, and then I leave, and then I fly home to New Hampshire. Not New Hampshire, to Florida on that Monday the 18th. So yeah, it's 4 days, three and a half days. Yeah, we're gonna split it up though. It's gonna be three of us driving across. So we're gonna split up the driving. I don't think it'll be so bad if we're splitting up the driving. Um, it's just a bunch of us dorks. Like it's gonna be a good time. So I think with Car, myself, and Ben, and a couple other people. I think like we're gonna rent a van. I think it's gonna be a good time. So oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to sweat. I live in Florida. I'm already sweating. I'm sweating right now. To be perfectly honest. I'm having hot flashes now, so I'm just used to it. That's the only thing that kind of it does suck about living in Florida and going through perimenopause and getting hot flashes. It's just that it's hot and uncomfortable and gross. So, so there's that. So like it's like you're hot and then like you get this feeling of being very hot come over you, and then and you want to die. And I'm on hormones, and they're kind of helping maybe. The jury's still out. Though my brain fog has gotten better, so there's that. Yeah, but this is if you own a vagina, it's your time. It's a good time. It's a good time. I think I sweat a few pounds off the. Well, it was. Oh yeah. What time was yours? Because like mine was at 9 this morning, and it was only for an hour for the protest where I was, so it wasn't too bad. And we were like standing in the shade, so it was actually comfortable. I was not standing out in direct sunlight at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Which, if that had happened, probably wouldn't have gone. I hate being because I just get so sweaty. It went from 10 to 2, but we left at 1. Okay. Yeah, ours was only an hour. Like I think like other cities, like I think Sarasota went longer and so did Tampa. But like ours it was just it was one of the smaller areas. So it was only for an hour, but that's fine. I came out like I made a sign stood up for democracy. Yay. For my insurance to cover hormone replacement, but I already had the occasional. Oh my god, yeah, I love HRT. I'm calling it gender affirming care because instead of saying hormone replacement therapy, I'm calling it gender affirming care. I think that sounds better. Just to point it out, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I'm on progesterone, which I take at night because it makes you sleepy, and then I take like an estrogen. It's an estrogen gel that I you topically because I found out from my OBGYN that you cannot digest estrogen, and there's something with the molecule and the way it's processed that it can't do it through like your digestive system. So I have like a topical gel that I put on my arm every morning. So there's that. So that was something I learned when I was like, oh really, you can't. He's like, no, you can't digest it. And I was like, oh. So it was either that or the patch. And like I've been on patches before. Now granted, the patch technology has probably improved since 2002. But like when I got pregnant with my son, I had a hormone patch, and I got pregnant. I had been on like Pelform and stuff, but I had been on I forget what the shot's called of the birth control. I was on that for a while, and then like I had been went off the shot, and then they were like, well, let's do a patch because this way, because I had like Kai was only like 2, and I just was one more thing I had to think about. I ended up getting pregnant. So that was the last time I was on a patch. So he's like, well, we have a patch. I'm like, no, I'll do the gel. Just because I had a bad experience with the patch. I'm sure the technology's improved. It's been 20 years, but still, I felt better doing the patch. I just did. So yeah, I just felt better. I did. I felt better with the gel. I just really did. So oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm gonna poke Ben because I'm pretty sure he thought it was supposed to be at it's supposed to be in like 25 minutes. So I'm just gonna just DMing him. So because and now I'm filling up time. So yeah, I'm squeezing my titty. I love this thing. This thing brings me so much like I love this. It's just, like the 5-year-old in me is just like woo, and the 12-year-old boy. Mostly the 12-year-old boy in me is like this. Like this is the best thing. Things make me happy. I'm trying to think. Did anything else going? I'm trying to think. If there's anything else I got going? Not really. I don't really have anything else going on currently, other than the fact that I don't really nothing really coming up other than my normal life stuff. AFAC patches and Plan B are not affected in women over 160 pounds. Oh, well, there you go. Didn't know that. So I did not know that. That's okay. So there we go. Learn something new. So the gel's just easy. Plus, like I just do it as part of my like morning routine of like because I take my medications in the morning, so I just do the gel. Hi PC. We're waiting for Ben because I bet he thought the show was at 7 p.m. his time. It'll probably be here in about 20 minutes. So if you guys want to listen to me ramble for 20 minutes, I can do that. There's that. Oh, we got a new kitten. That's exciting. So my roommate, they were fostering a cat. And we thought we were going to keep that cat, but that cat is a one cat household. She's a very beautiful Siamese. And she loved people. Could not be around my other cats. Like she would attack and go after my cats. We want to listen to me, Ram. Okay, so I'll talk about the new kitten. So my cat Bellatrix, like, that cat did not like her, and like would chase after her, and like there'd be like black fur all over my house from this cat. So we were like, okay, this cat can't live with us. So we ended up returning that cat. Return that cat to its owner. And then like a couple days later, like actually no. Why when Sylvia was on her way out, they got the little black kid, and his name is Sirius, and he is because I have Bellatrix as a black cat, so it was and I'm his auntie, so it's only natural that you're gonna get another cat. Your name is Sirius. It's the way of the universe. And he's only 8 weeks old, and he's the cutest little monkey butt. I love him so much. He's a derp because he's learning how to cat, and he's clumsy, and he has these adorable little like mew mews, and he's so sweet, and I'm kind of in love. He also was also like super dorky cute about him. I think I have pictures of him. Let me pull those up because he's just so fucking. I might as well do that since we're sitting here. I'll show you cuteness, everybody. Who wants to see a kitten? Let's go see the best boy. All right, let me see if I can bring up picture of the most adorable little kitten in the world. Okay, so let me do a screen share. All right. I want to share my screen. I know how to do this, guys. Screen. All right. So I want to do this one. Por favor. All right, there we go. Haha. All right, and there we go. And we're gonna share. Okay, there we go. Look at him. Look at that little face. He's so cute. He's a little monkey butt. We love him. He's so. I also give me a second. I'll find a video of him being a derp. It's the cutest thing ever. Because he was a derp. Let me see if I can find a video. Since we're sitting here, that was. Sure, I have I think I have a video of him chasing his own tail the other day, which was really funny, because he's dumb. He's very cute. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me. Okay, let me see. Let me pull this up. All right.
Is you spicy?
Look at him. He's so little. So little.
Spicy kitty? Oh, yeah.
I love him. I love him, guys.
Oh, yeah. It's a TV.
That's my roommate. Isn't he cute? Yeah. So he's our new baby. So that's Mr. Serious. He's now part of the family now. So I love him. I know that they're so big too, like on his little tiny face. He's so cute. And like last week, why my roommate was out, he was in our bedroom, and he was like exploring, and he would jump up on the bed and every so often, like, to come see me, like, are you like a toddler? And it was like, are you okay? And then he would jump off and he'd go running around and go exploring, and then he would after a little bit he would jump back on the bed. So it's so cute. I've missed having a kid in the house. This is why I can't foster cats, guys, because I will want to adopt all the cats. I like it was I want, and then you turn into a cat hoarder, and we don't want that. Know your limitations is the strength. There's 4 people in the house and there's 4 cats, so I think that's a manageable number, because there's 4 people in my house and there's 4 kitty cats. So 1 cat per person. That's the way that logic seems sound, I think. And they're so cute. Like, I love them. I'm a cat person, like, through. I like dogs. I do. I'm not against dogs. I just don't want a dog. If I did get a dog, I probably get when I get a Pomsky, which is they're so fucking cute. If you guys don't know what a Pomsky is, they're half Pomeranian and half Husky. And they are the cutest little motherfucking dogs. I was in an airport a couple of years ago, and somebody was carrying their little Pomsky puppy, and they are the cutest little dogs. I want one so bad. Like, they are so damn cute, and I'm not afraid to say so. Like, they're so cute. So I'm gonna share videos of. We're gonna talk about dogs. We're gonna show. Like, this is my designer dog I want, guys. If I ever become rich and can have a designer dog, I'm getting a designer dog. I'm gonna get this damn dog. They're just too freaking cute. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me pull up a picture. Okay. Oh my god. Like, look at that. Okay, so let me share my screen. Share screen. Pomsky dog. Okay, so this is a Pomsky. Like, they're so freaking cute, because they're so compared to like a Husky, they're like half the size, because they have like the bazillion reptiles and hundreds of puppers. We have a snake. We have a boa named Loki, and he's very might be a girl now, because my friend was over last weekend and did like a sex check and said it was a girl. So, but Loki's gender fluid, so we just now started referring to our boa as they them, because we don't know. So yeah, we don't hoard pets. Like, no, I mean, you can if you can take care of them. It's just that, like, cats are their own different. But look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want these dogs. This is my dream dog. They're $3,000 a pop. But I want one so bad. They're so cute. I love them. They're so cute. I love them. I know they're so adorable. Look, a little face. This is the dog I want. This is my design. This is my dream dog. So yeah, so I figure you look at adorableness for a couple minutes. So I would get that, or I love a black Scottish Terrier. Like, I think those dogs are just also super adorable. So if I was gonna get, and that's more affordable, those type of dogs, I could probably get like a Scottie. But yeah, I don't, also too, AJ, like, I don't know how you have a husky in Florida. Like, I know I've been out, like, just out and about and seen people with their dogs. Usually it's little toy dogs, like little, like some kind of, like, terriers or whatever. Or like a Pomeranian, like, cause there's a bunch of old people and they like the small dogs. But I have seen huskies in Florida. I'm like, why would this seems counterintuitive. It gets up to like 90, 95. And you have a dog that was bred to withstand the cold, and like dog sled across, where there's a lot of snow in the north. So I just find it very interesting. It was just one of the things, but they are gorgeous. Like, I've never owned a husky. I've pet a husky before, but I didn't know they were hard-headed, stubborn dogs. So yeah, I would probably have, like, if I was gonna have a dog, I would definitely have, like, if I was bougie, I would have a Pomsky, and then I probably have like a Scottish Terrier if I wanted a dog. But Ben just remembered. Oh shit, lol. So he's coming. I told you, I'm telling you, got the time wrong. I am kidding. Yeah, you got the time messed up. I knew it. I knew you got the time mixed up. I knew it. It's fine. I knew it. I knew it. He will not. He was not the first, nor will he be the last. Get the time wrong. So there you go. So he's probably going to be jumping in soon, so I don't have to keep talking about dogs. I mean, I can talk about dogs. Yeah, like, Ben's one of my favorite people on the planet, so I can be forgiving. Like, it's like, this is my show. Like, what do I care? Plus you guys all love me, so you'll just listen to me talk and babble about bullshit. I could have had my pizza though while I was sitting here. Well, live and let live, I suppose. So, I'm probably going to end up having the pizza anyway, because I eat on my own show, because it's my show, and there are no rules. Rules are made up, and the points don't matter. I mean, he's hot. Yes, literally and figuratively. Ben is hot. It's so funny that excuse me. He's one of my favorite people, like, since we became friends, and also gives really good hugs. So he got the reason was he was on Central Time and not on Eastern Time, which is, again, something that other people have done on my show. So, and won't be the first, won't be the last. So it's fine. Luckily I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? Not a stickler. Let me put it that way. Cause I'm not getting paid. And this is my show. So I can do what I want. So there's that. Okay, I'm getting a hot flash. I'm warm. I'm actually warm right now. Whew. This sucks, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, having hot flashes is kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Dumb. It's dumb. Very, very dumb. I don't know. I don't know why. Through evolution, like you get a hot flash when your hormones just are like out of whack. I don't know why that happened. Okay, Ben's here. Hi, honey.
Sorry, time zone fuck up.
So I think you just needed to switch your microphone on the bottom where next to the mute
Okay.
button.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. If you go down beside your mute button and click on the little arrow, you can pick your microphone.
Yeah, it's the correct mic.
Okay. I mean,
Oh, no, sorry.
talking,
No, sorry.
so
That's actually not. Okay, hold on.
I cannot hear you.
Cannot
Cannot hear you.
Hold on. Hold on.
Nope. Oh, you can hear. Why can't I hear you then? Oh, everybody else can hear you.
Should be better.
Maybe it's me. Is it me? Maybe. It's my speakers on.
Oh, no. Okay.
Hold on. It might be me. It might be me. Stop. It might be me. Hold on. No,
that should be
speaker.
the correct one.
People can hear you, but I can't hear you. So give me one moment because I think it might be a me problem. Might be a me problem. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, talk now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I was on the wrong.
Okay. There we go.
I was on my speakers and not my earbuds, so that was my fault.
Okay. We're here. Amazing.
Amazing. You got your haircut.
I did. I'm like basically bald now.
Yeah. Well, for summer in Texas, appropriate.
Yes, exactly. We got distracted. I will apologize. We got distracted because we were recording a video for of all the instruments in our speakeasy, and we got a little bit distracted. So
no, it's fine.
We're here.
It's okay.
We're here now.
So now the show can start.
Hey, welcome.
We talked about the protest. Like I was just spending time talking to like AJ and Stan Secretary stuff, talking about the protests, and then we ended up talking about dogs and cats. I showed off our new kitten, so that's what we did.
Yeah, so we got a new puppy here too. So he got his rabies vaccine today.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got your dog vaccinated? Like that's what
we did. And yeah, I know he got the rest of his vaccines like at the shelter and stuff, but you can't really get the rabies vaccine until you're 4 months old. So he's 4 months old now. So he got it today. But
he is so cute. He is a very cute pupper.
He's so sweet.
I can't wait to give him kisses.
Yeah. Oh, join us. We also got our you'll meet Layla soon. Layla's fun.
Okay, yay.
Layla's the hookah.
Oh yeah. I saw. I can't wait. Me and Layla are gonna bond. We're gonna become very good friends.
Yeah, we'll take you to a place. I can't tell you where the place is. It's in New Mexico. So distinctly not in Texas, but there's a place nearby that has good prices on shit. So all right,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so for the people that may not know you, who are you?
Me. Yes. I'm Dr. Ben. I guess chronically late now. I'm a physician currently separating from the Army under the trans ban. Not board certified in anything, working on getting back into residency. I have to reapply to civilian residency, and it's going to be a blast. Fucking blast.
Didn't you already do that? You have to
no,
do it
again? I did intern year in the military. And then I'm changing specialties no matter what. So I hated what I went in for. And so I dropped out of my residency program because in the military, you can leave residency, still work, and then reapply. So I hated what I did because like it's fucked up. It's fucked up that medicine makes you commit to one thing and you're stuck there for the rest of your life. Like you're not allowed to, like you try things in med school, but you can't work the job, find out if you like the job or not, and then decide whether or not you're going to do it.
Oh,
which is insane. So I tried the job. Like when you're a med student, it's different than when you're a resident. I tried the job. I hated the job in residency. And so I had to leave and then I'm trying for something else now. So
what do you want to do?
Nephrology, which most people don't know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
It's kidneys. So it's dialysis, transplant nephrology is part of that. It's like the experts on your body fluids and your body acid base status. It's very, very mathy, very nerdy. So I went in for family medicine. Yeah, so full disclosure, I went in to do family medicine with the intent of doing like transgender medicine for like the long term. I was wanting to do adolescent medicine, but I didn't like it, and not because I don't like caring for trans people. That's not the reason, but I couldn't.
That would be really ironic.
Yeah, no, I love trans people, but the thing was, with everything going on with trans people,
yeah,
I needed a boundary between my job and my home life. And I couldn't have that. If I was caring only for trans people, I could not have that boundary. And in the sense that if you're in family medicine, you're expected to be a jack of all trades, master of none. And I couldn't do that. Like, my whole reason for being in medicine is to be the expert on the one thing I can be an expert on. And so I couldn't do all the things. I needed one thing that I could do well at. And so it's a personality thing. It just wasn't right for me. So
no, I totally understand that. Yeah, I totally understand that. Like I had my cousin's ex-husband, he was going to be a general practitioner, and then like 15 years later he switched his specialty. Now he does bone medicine. I forget the actual word
like
for
ortho?
it, but ortho, but he
dang, okay.
Yeah, so
intense. Ortho's intense.
Yeah, he completely switched specialties because he's like I'm really into, because also he wanted kind of to take care of the geriatric population because he was seeing a lot of geriatric patients coming in with like bone issues. So then he found out that he really liked it, and then he was like, I'm changing my specialty. So
yeah, it happens. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna be the nerd taking care of kidneys. And no one else cares. But
it's needed.
I care. It's needed, but nobody cares.
As someone that deals with old people all day, I know. Like,
no, that's what it is too. Yeah, it's a lot of old people. And I had to make the decision for myself of, do I want to do adults or pediatrics? And if I had to choose between a child or an old person, not saying like who should get care, because I think they both should get care, but who should I specifically care for? I would take care of the old person, because I just not meant to deal with kids. Like I'm not a parent. I don't plan on being a parent. Like I don't identify with the things that people who are parents struggle with. So, but I do know old people. I have dealt with old people. I have old people in my family. Like I can do that.
I will tell you, as someone that taught preschool, and was a mother to small children, I love kids, and I'd rather deal with kids than adults, like old people. But the thing is, though, you also have to deal with parents, and parents suck. That's what got me out of teaching. I did a month. Like that's what got me out of teaching preschool, was the parents, because the parents sucked.
No, I did a month at a very, very busy tertiary medical center in Virginia, like in the peds hospital. Like they have a whole children's hospital there, and it was fun. I liked it more than family medicine, but if I had to pick between that and the ICU there, I would pick the ICU. Like there's a peds ICU, but the peds is different. It's way different, and it's way more emotional. And I don't know if I can do that. Like I'll take the old people in the adult ICU any day.
Oh,
way easier than with kids.
Yeah, I like the kids I love kids. I do. I've been an aunt since I was 8 years old, and I've always had just kind of I like being around children. And I also went to I did like when I was working for my psych degree, I took a lot of like child development and child psychology.
Yeah.
So I also have like a little bit of the educational background, and I really like being around kids, but I just hate parents because like when we're hanging out, I'll tell you stories because
Yeah.
it is.
No, I bet you have stories for sure.
I have stories. Anyway, but we're not talking about like
Yes.
children. We're going to talk about conflicts and
adults. Yeah.
We're going to talk about dealing with our wonderful community online, because that's been a trip lately.
It's relevant. That's why I picked it. Because I could go into, the world on anti-vax, anti-trans categories, but more recently it's been the drama. So
to be fair, there is a lot of stuff about the trans stuff online, and you already do the transatlantic show, so we can just talk about something different about like atheist online discourse and why it's bad.
Yeah, there's been drama. There's been a lot of drama, and in all fairness, there's been drama before I ever joined the community and before Helen ever joined the community. Like, I know there's always going to be drama. And I think I picked this topic because like there will always be drama. There will never be a time when we don't fight. And it's important to understand that even though we're all atheists, we're all secular humanists for the most, I will say for the most part, secular humanists. That's part's debatable, but like
atheist, yes, humanist,
yeah, debatable. we're secular humanists, and so even if you find somebody who's in the same camp as you, as far as one video goes, they might not be in the same camp for every single video, and that's where we're at. Like if you are platforming people who should not be platformed, and we all know who I'm talking about at this point. We all know the drama that I'm talking about. Like there's a weight that you carry by having a platform, right? Like you own the video that is produced on your platform, and you can choose what you do with that. And I know that there are people in our community who have no problem, interviewing Christians and interviewing atheists, etc. But I think it's different. It's very different when your platform is to explore conversations and explore different viewpoints and, like think through different things. Like it's different if you're going to have a Christian on and you don't necessarily endorse their viewpoint, but want to have a conversation. Like if you are Anthony Magnabosco and you're going to have a video of you talking to a Christian about what is faith, that is appropriate. That's appropriate for YouTube. Like you can do that. And even if the Christian says things that you don't agree with, like the whole point is the discussion, and the audience knows that you don't agree with the Christian side. Like that's one thing. It's another thing, a totally separate thing, to have a person on your channel who has advocated, or like a person who has advocated for racism and who has advocated for like transphobia, homophobia, etc., and to platform
like
them
all the bad
equally,
things.
the bad things, and platform them equally to your perspective. That's different. Like, and I think you know the difference too, Helen. Like, I'm sure you know that difference.
Yeah, and that's why I'm very like, I've had people like message me and be like, I want to be on your channel, and I will go look at their content. Because even if it's recommended to me, and I know our friends and acquaintances within the community pretty well, I will still go check out their content just to make sure they're not platforming people that have things that don't align with my humanistic values, because I don't want to give someone a platform, Christian or not, believer or not. if they're not aligned on values of basic human decency and kindness, like I don't want you on my channel.
Yeah. And it's like, and if you're going to have that person on your channel, you should be pushing back on them. Like,
yeah,
you can bring them on to debate them if you are going to oppose their viewpoint. And like, it's okay if you bring a transphobe on and they say, you know, trans people shouldn't exist in society, and you bring them on to say, no, they actually should exist in society, and here's why you're wrong, XYZ reasons. Like, that's more okay. Like, if you are there to debunk them, that's fine. You can do what you want there, debunking them.
And I think that's the most important thing is the fact that you are going to debate them and be like, no, actually, trans people are just like everybody else, and you don't get the right to tell other people how they're going to live their life. And maybe we should have a discussion about like why your views are wrong. So,
yeah.
But if you're going to just sit there and nod along, or like kind of push back, but more in this sort of like, you know, wishy-washy kind of way, it's like, well, no, then you're basically saying I'm okay with bigotry.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I've had a few instances in the past couple years where people who are not Christians, like people who are atheists, have had opposing viewpoints, and it's just like, you know, slid by. And there are people that, you know, the more recent incidents of drama was very well deserved, like extremely well deserved. And in a case where you should not be platforming somebody that we all know is problematic, right? But like, I think that for the audience here, I don't think anybody is intentionally trying to be on a platform with bigots. Like, I'm gonna say that now.
No.
I don't think any of us here are intending on being on that platform. But there are people, and there are people who I've done, like I was friends with for many years, and you end up getting to a point sometimes where you just don't know the person you're online with, and they might say something that isn't blatantly transphobic, but is, you know, transmedicalist, etc. So like, for people who don't know what that means, transmed is a position that you are not a valid trans person unless you have undergone medical and surgical transition. So it's saying that your gender identity does not matter. It is if your gender identity caused you to get surgery, then you are valid as a trans person, which is not true. But there are people in our community that do that, that will say, maybe not in those exact words, but they will assert the point that, you know, this person is a trans person because their gender dysphoria was bad enough to where they got surgery, or they got testosterone therapy, or they got estrogen therapy. But that's not true, because for the most part, the humanist community has said, like, if you identify as whatever gender, that is your gender. And if you are a trans woman and your sex is female, or sex is male at birth, then you are a trans woman. It does not matter. Even if you've never come out before, it does not matter. Even if you've never had surgery, if you've never had hormones, you are still a trans woman. And some people will say that, no, actually, you're only trans if you've ever attempted to medically transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see your face there.
Okay. What? Like, I know that's what it is, but every time it's explained to me, it just pisses me off, because it's like, I'm so sorry you, like, because like, for example, my oldest is trans. Right now, they were on hormone therapy, and because their insurance changed, they can't be. didn't stop them from being trans. So that doesn't mean that once you're off your hormones, you're not trans anymore. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, and it gatekeeps what being trans is.
Right.
Like, and especially with minors who don't have access in many states. Like, if you're in the deep South and you're trans, you're fucked. Especially if you are in the deep South and you are if you're a trans person and you are under the age of 18, you're fucked.
Yeah. You're just basically like, you have to exist in a body that and like, you have to present yourself as cis, even though you're like, no, I'm not. And it's just, and we wonder why teen suicide rates are up with, like, trans youth,
right?
And
so the fact
I'm like, because people aren't being respectful to who they are as human beings.
Right. And so the idea too, that you are not trans unless you get medical transition is a bad argument, because not everybody can access transition
or afford it. Even if you
afford it, and not everybody,
it's expensive.
Nobody can. It's expensive, and not everybody wants it, because it's a risk. It's a risk that you're taking that you can't really undo at a certain point. So, so that's some drama as well. But
my Nightbot's drunk. So anyway,
your Nightbot is super drunk.
Yeah, it's always drunk. But it is one that, like, but aside from, like, people being like trans medicalists, which is something that I just can't wrap my brain, even as like a cis person, like, gender is just a social construct anyway. So I'm just kind of like, why are you telling other people, what their experiences is? Yeah. That's gross. So stop that. But aside from that, so just aside from trans drama that exists in our community, but there's some drama going, and there's always drama going. Like, I don't, like, I tend to stay away from drama. It's the plague. But what's been going on lately? It seems that there's teen picking going on. Yeah, and that's a little bit of
it's icky. It's icky. Yeah. It's like, if one thing with all of the drama, not everybody is going to be 100% aware of what's happening with the drama, but also, like, it's not an excuse. Like, you should be aware of anyone you're supporting on your channel. You should know what their stances are on issues. That should be on you. But I don't agree with guilt by association. And I don't know your perspective on that, Helen, but, like, if somebody, let's say if somebody does something that you don't like, and then somebody else is a friend of the person that you don't like, but they're not involved in the drama, it's hard to say how responsible they are for whatever. Like, it's in the recent circumstance is a bit harder to say, because the whole incident recently was about someone platforming racism and platforming transphobia. So that's a bit different, to where, like, okay, if you have a friend who platforms transphobia, you should probably not be friends with them anymore.
Right.
Like, that just should be the thing. But, like, let's take a totally separate issue. Like, and a great example of this is Matt Dillahunty. I love Matt. I'm friends with Matt. Matt is a very, very hardcore trans ally. Like, very hardcore trans ally. His debate style is very different than a lot of people expect. And, like, he is very harsh on people. And so a lot of people will be mad at Matt for the debate style, which does not take a stance. Like, the particular debate style is just, it's mean. But, like, you have to take this as, like, there's a difference between professional debate and, casually talking in a bar with somebody, right? Like, if you're talking in a bar with somebody, you're going to be a bit more gentle. because like if you're friends with somebody, and if they say I'm a Christian, I believe that Noah's Ark is 100% literal. Like, okay, we'll have a conversation. We'll do straight epistemology. We'll have a very gentle talk about, you know, what caused you to believe that this is true. Like, what is faith? What are all these things? That is a bar conversation that, you know, is appropriate for that time frame. Where people, I think, don't understand where Matt's coming from. Like, Matt does very professional debate against Ken Ham, Kent Hovind, people like that who have very big platforms. And the goal of a professional debate is to debunk, is to prove them wrong. And that's the goal is different. Where the goal at a bar is to change minds through changing thought processes, through gentle discussion. That's not the case when you're influencing hundreds of thousands of people. Right.
No, it's a very different approach you have to take. And I think what people should be able to understand the nuance.
Yeah. And so I think people approach somebody like Matt and they think, I'm expecting Matt to do a bar conversation, and he's not going to do that because his style is professional debate. Like, he's going to approach you the same way he approaches Ken Ham, the same way he approaches Kent Hovind. And by all means, like, Kent Hovind does not deserve any leniency. He does not deserve a bar conversation. He does not deserve any platform.
Wrong. Not only he's wrong, he's an abuser.
Yes.
So please don't give Ken Hovind any slack at all.
Exactly the point. Exactly. Yeah. So where Matt comes from, like, Matt debunks people who are in positions of power.
Right.
And so you have to be harsh with them. You cannot give them any room to be correct. Because they're not. And any room that you give them, they will take, and they will take to their audience and, you know, platform themselves further. So the where I see some extra drama happen is like if somebody sees Matt debate on a stream or whatever, where people are consenting to debating with Matt, like they call in to debate Matt.
That's why you're calling the show.
That's why you're calling the show. He's going to be Matt with you. He is going to be harsh with you. And if it's totally okay to say, I don't like that debate style. It's okay to say, this is not the way I would approach that. That's fine. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to debate that way. But for a lot of cases, there's community drama because one person says, I don't like the way Matt debates. And then we'll say anyone who associates with Matt is also bad. And that's like the guilt by association thing.
Gross.
And that's where guilt by association is like a whole separate thing. It's like, we're not talking about people who sympathize with racists. We're not talking about people who sympathize with transphobes. It's like, if you don't like someone's style on a show and you say, I will not personally debate that person, that's okay. That is totally okay. You have you are not required to debate somebody you don't want to. You're not required to call into a show you don't want to call into. That's fine. But if, like, I know in my case, there were times like when I went on the hang up. Yeah, I never want to wait to debate him, but you can't wait to meet him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I remember I was so nervous to meet Matt in person, but when I did, he's such a sweetheart, like, absolutely. But when I got back, like, I went on the hang up, the first episode that I ever did as a call-in show, and then I had people say that they don't want to associate with me because I was on a show with Matt, like, not because of anything I said, not because of any stance I took, not because of anything with the show, but other than I was on a show with Matt. And that's where I was bad. And now I'm the bad guy.
Which Okay, then anyone that's ever associated with him, whether at the line or the ACA, are recovering from religion, are bad guys, because I've associated with Matt through RFR. He helped with our fundraiser, and when I was the head of the fundraiser committee, I talked to him because we had him on RFR. We had him on RFRX. We've had him on RFRX now 3 times, and it's one of those things. Then is everybody that's ever talked to Matt a bad person? Now, his debate style, it's not my approach, but that's his approach. I don't like it, but I understand why he has the style that he does. It's not right for me because it's not my personality. And also, I haven't debated Ken Hovind, but I have lost my shit on when people start saying like sexist, racist, or transphobic or homophobic things. I lose my shit. Like, I have a limit.
Yeah.
But when I hear bigotry, that's when I lose it. Like if you think they're the 6,000 years old, but we're having just a conversation about it, that's fine. But if you're one of these people, if you're one of these people that generally, it generally is just having a conversation about like, well, because I believe in God, trans people aren't valid, then I am so sorry. You're using an excuse for bigotry. You believe in the earth is 6,000 years old as a lack of education. These are 2 different things.
Yeah, and that's the same. Like, I have some, like, if anyone has tuned into the Transatlantic Colin show the past couple weeks, like, and even the past several weeks, I lose my shit for some people. But that's because it's those people that are not listening to the conversation. And more recently, we had somebody who told us that we were a joke because I raised my voice at him, and I don't feel bad because it was about trans women in sports. I gave the case that there isn't much difference between trans women and cis women, and this whole fight is practically meaningless. Like, you should just allow trans people to compete in their divisions. And I gave reasons for him to abandon his prior viewpoint, and he immediately went back to his prior viewpoint. And I was like, did you even listen to the conversation? I'm not sure that you did. And yeah, I lost my shit at him. But like, when you are not willing to listen and not willing to engage with the community, that's a problem. And I think there's a big difference between like situations like that, situations like the one recently, where if the community comes to you and says, hey, you're platforming a transphobe, you're platforming a racist, there's a difference between saying like, hey, I shouldn't have platformed this person, or like, the fact that the people in this particular circumstance stuck to their guns and said, no, it's actually okay. I'm just choosing the art over the artist is essentially what they said. Like, they're saying that this person had good viewpoints for one thing and they didn't care about the other viewpoints of the other things. And that's a problem.
It's a big problem.
Yeah. And so like the reason why I picked this topic for this show is like there's certain ways to handle drama, and there's some drama that is unavoidable, absolutely unavoidable. And some of it is just, hey, we disagree on a small thing that ultimately does not matter. Like, we can disagree about how we approach debate. We can disagree on, I'm going to be a scientific channel, or I'm going to be a history channel, or I'm going to be a debate channel. Like, we can disagree on that, and it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Matt can have his channel. He can do what he wants. Like, we can have our channel. We can do what we want. And it's like, agree to disagree. There's a certain point where it is okay to agree to disagree. And then there are other times where it's not appropriate to do that. Like, if you're platforming a racist, a transphobe, etc., and you are using that to then further degrade the community and to say, well, you're canceling me because of this reason. Like, no, you don't get the right to, I mean, you have the right to oppose whatever you want. You have the right to make whatever content you want. That's fine. But don't expect the community to rally around you when you have somebody on your channel who is openly racist, and then expect everybody to applaud you for that, because everybody else has absolute right to tell you, no, we do not want this person platformed.
I think also too that I think it's also important within our community, especially because we're skeptics.
Yeah.
Right? Like so if you're skeptical, if someone's making a claim that, certain human beings are above or below other human beings, you should question that.
Yep.
And if you're not questioning it and you're like, well, I'm neutral or like, it's just an opinion or all opinions are valid. I'm like, no, motherfucker, they're not. Not all opinions are valid. Like when you start saying certain human beings are above or below other human beings, I tend to push back against that. And also too, I'm like, you look at you, cis white straight man, who has never felt, or that can't empathize with someone that has been othered. Like, and like, that's all we're asking for. And then if you're not questioning those things, like, what was this a lie I was told? It's the same with religion. It's like you were fed some bullshit, and if you're not questioning that bullshit, and that's why we kind of hold people a little bit more accountable in this community because of that fact.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole recent thing was a trip for sure.
I didn't, to be fair, I don't follow their content at all. I didn't even know this person existed until I was watching you on the line, and then Brentley reviewed it on his channel, and I was like, oh no.
No, it was funny because I knew the drama. I knew it.
I had no idea because I don't follow a lot. Like I just don't follow it.
I knew it when I was on the line. Like I knew it while I was on. But I knew that the particular topic that they were calling in about was a Facebook debate that I was not involved in. Like, and like I had my own thoughts about, weighing in on that particular topic. I watched Brentley's stuff. I've been listening to, I saw Captain Dadpool stuff. I saw Heathen Queen stuff. And like, I know Captain Dadpool and Heathen Queen. Like, I'm friends with both of them. I'm friends with Brentley, of course. And like, I know the situation enough to where like, I could give a very convincing argument to not follow Myth Vision after this. Like, I have enough for that. But like I felt like I just kind of was in the right place to sit back and listen on the line because of the fact that the specific debate topic was a Facebook conversation that I was not involved in. And so with that, I was like, Matt's got this handled. He doesn't need me to weigh in. Nobody needs me to weigh in on this. Like, they were there for the conversation. They were there when whatever claims were being posed, etc. So I just sat back and looked pretty while Matt went after them. And Matt did a great job going after them.
Yeah, he did.
But like, to say that you are like having a person on who has made racist and transphobic statements, and then to say that, especially right now in our society, when minorities are actually targeted, like for harmful reasons, that is not a time to sit back and say, no, I was actually being okay. It's not a time to say, is it okay to platform this person? Like, especially when these people need allyship the most, is not when you platform that person.
Right.
Yeah. And so the way that they handled it was absolute garbage. And yeah, I didn't say much on the show because I was not involved in the original conversation, but I had my own thoughts and opinions that whole time.
It's well, like, because I didn't like, to be fair, like, I don't like, there are people that I follow and I watch their content, but like, as far as like, yeah, I know like what goes on and like the communities that we're involved in, but everything else, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm always like, hey, by the way, are you being adults? Are you working through your shit? Great. And then if I hear some stuff that it's going to make me be like, you're not aligned with my values, and I need to, like, skip, because I will not compromise my morals. Your morals have to be in line with mine for me to, especially to promote you and be part of platforms. But that being said, there's a lot of people in our community, like, because this reminds me of all the shit that went down in like with Gamergate and the atheist community and the teens. This is the same type of shit that happens, is that people don't, they dig their heels in, and then they're like, I don't want to be wrong, and they say that they're, free thinkers, and they, every opinion is valid. I'm like, no, not every opinion is valid, because if someone's being a fucking bigot, no, it's not valid. It's no longer valid.
Yeah. And it's okay to apologize. It is okay. It is more admirable, like, if you did that and you come out and say, hey, I had this person on, I wasn't thinking about the ramifications, it didn't occur to me, like, I'm sorry that I did that, I won't do it again. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Like, because it's gonna happen. Like, there's always a point where people are going to butt heads, and there are points where you're gonna do something fucked up on your channel, and you're gonna say something that's incorrect, or you're gonna platform someone who should not be platformed.
That's why I always say, I'm like, don't go by me. If I say something wrong, please correct me.
It's like, and you take that and you say, hey, if people are telling me something and I need to change my viewpoint, then I will change, or I will look into it at least. And what didn't happen more recently, like, you're exactly right. They dug their heels in and they said, I was correct in this. You can't be mad at me, whatever. Like, no, you need to evaluate your viewpoint. And if you think that it's okay to platform people like that, that is on you.
Yeah.
You made the choice to do that, and you made the choice to dig your heels in after it happened. And you could have said, I should not have done this. You could have said, I shouldn't have done this. I'll change and not do this again. But the other thing too is, with this more recent situation, that was the second occurrence of this, right? If I'm correct, this is not the first time.
So. I think that Brenly mentioned it was the second occurrence when he was reviewing it. So, which was something,
so
again, I did
there were
not
times
know.
beforehand. There were times beforehand where this person had said, actually, I'm wrong, I shouldn't have done this, and then proceeded to do the same thing again. And like that's
not learning.
Doesn't tell me, it doesn't tell me that you're sorry. It tells me that you didn't think you were actually wrong, and you just said that to get a pardon, and then did the same thing a second time, which tells me exactly what I need to know about you.
Right, exactly, which is pretty much what it is. And I don't think there's enough appreciation, because like I always say, like, apologies are one thing, that's just air. It's always, what is your action afterwards? That's what accountability is.
Yes.
And if you're doing accountability, that means, like, I fucked up, and I've done this. Like, when I fuck up, I own it and I try to fix it. Also, I have
deleted videos.
Rejection dysphoria.
Yeah.
So it reduces that. If I have the ADHD way, like, I pissed you off. Let me go fix it. So,
same. I've deleted videos. I've deleted videos that were incorrect, and it's not even for humanistic reasons. Like, it was a minor, like, factual thing that somebody else was right on and I was incorrect on, and I deleted the video because I'm like, I will not perpetuate this false information anymore. Right. Yeah. And so you have to do that. You have to correct yourself.
And people, when they see that, that's the thing about integrity, is like, we're all wrong at some point. and then you say like, I was wrong, and you adjust your content, or if you still have video and you're able to re-upload it, then you go, hey, in this particular point, so-and-so says this is actually not correct. And also, but the rest of the interview is really good. So, there's actually, more information in the descriptor to lead you to some other resources about the actual correct, whatever you do, however you correct it is how you correct it. And then you go, I'm sorry. If you have like a bigot on your channel, delete those videos. Just don't promote them because they're
delete them. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there are more than one. There's more than one person doing this shit. And there's people who like, I look back at their videos. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why is this? There's some people who have not had the hammer smitten on them. And I'm not going to give names here because I'm not starting drama, but there are people, more people than the more recent incident, who have done videos that are factually incorrect about the trans debate, and they will cite a particular logical reason for doing so, and it is a bad reason. And they won't apologize for it, and their way of dealing with it is saying, I'm doing this for like logical or rhetorical utility, and like, no, that's not the reason. Especially like the only way you can get away with that is if you are trans. If you are a trans person, you can get away with a bit more, and you can say, well, I'm going to grant you this point for this argument. But if you're not trans, do not grant those fucking points. Do not grant anything. And we shouldn't, and even trans people should not be granting any of those points. But like, if you're going to get to a discussion with a transphobe and you get to a point of saying that, like, even if I grant you that sex is the same as gender, that does not equate to mandating all of these rules to limit trans people and to restrict trans people from bathrooms, restrict trans people from sports, etc. Like, if you are well equipped to give that argument, then fine. But if you're not a trans person and your argument is that we're going to talk about sex and gender as the same thing because of utility, no, that is not the discussion. That is not the discussion, and will not ever be the discussion. So like, if you are a cishet person and want to avoid drama on the trans front, have a trans person review your content, and not just one trans person, because there are transphobic trans people. Surprisingly enough, there are plenty of them.
Like homophobic, like homosexuals.
Yeah. So have multiple trans people.
Internalize my hatred.
Yeah. Have multiple trans people review your content.
That's how you get Blair White, who is she's
exactly
a trans person that's internalized her own transphobia.
Yeah. So if you're going to make, I'm going to say, if you're going to make any trans content whatsoever, have multiple trans people review it. Like, multiple trans people who are not in the same community. Like, have one person from another side, like another person, like, do not have them just don't set it to the same chat forum and say, hey, trans person, weigh in on this, because they might be the same. But like, I don't endorse Blair White's opinions. I don't endorse Buck Angel's opinions.
God, no.
Yeah, like, I don't endorse them, and most trans people don't. But if you said, I got a trans person to review this thing and it was Buck Angel, I don't believe you. I don't believe that that's what actually happened by any means. So like, there are atheists in our community who have made those arguments that, sex and gender are the same because of utility, and they don't understand the consequences of that statement. Like, they're going to debate, bro. They're going to say, well, this is a philosophical argument. Like, no, it is not. This is a real person. No, it's
science.
It is science, and everything that you say is going to be used to determine human rights. Like, if you can say what you want, but are you okay with your statement being used as a weapon against human rights? If yes, you are in the wrong community, because that is not humanism.
No.
And you should take down your videos.
And also too, like, just someone that is very well educated on gender and sexual and sex, I still would be like, I'm well versed in this stuff, but I'm like, please go talk to a trans person, because I was born cis and I haven't, had that lived experience. And someone, even though I am very well educated on the subject and I can debate people on it and present them with facts, I will still say, go talk to someone that's actually had this lived experience. Go talk to someone that can talk about it from someone that is actually living it, because I only know it secondhand. I'm well educated in it, and I can have a conversation with someone and tell them I'm like, no, this is why you're wrong. But at the same time, like it's like when I get agitated when I hear men talk about women's issues, like I'm like, please talk to a woman. Like refer to women.
I feel bad if we made this into the bitch channel, like for tonight.
Yeah,
like this is the bitch show.
This is my fucking show. Like we talk about, but this is the reality. It's like, I'm not gonna sit there and talk about like men's rights. And I think there is, for cis men, there are real issues that go on that they should have a platform to talk about it, not in like a bigoted sexist way, but talk about like a live experience of being a man and their exploitation and things that they face. And I might be well versed and educated on that subject, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't own a dick. Like, and I'm not a cis man. Like, I'm not.
Another great example of this. So I don't know if you tuned into the Transatlantic this week.
No, I don't. To be honest, but I don't really watch this show. Not because, like, I don't.
It's hard to watch.
Well,
it's hard to watch.
Too, I just get, because I think because I have a trans child, it is hard for me to hear transphobes, because I like my mama bear comes out and I just want to rip people's faces off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but we had some discussion in multiple cases this past week about transracialism, which, yikes, absolute yikes.
What?
Are you familiar with that?
No, now I'm going to be, and I'm probably going to get mad because those two.
Yo, you're going to get mad. You're going to get mad. Because, and I'm going to preface this with, I am not the right person. I'm not the right person to completely debunk this. Like, I will oppose it 100%. But I understand that my experience is not completely adequate to debunk everything with it. But people will use this topic of transracialism to oppose transgender people. And well, past week, actually, I think the person was pro-trans, but making this argument, which is wild. But the idea that you could be like trans, whatever race you feel you are, like people being if they're born white and that they feel like they're black and that they're now black because they're transracial. That's the argument we're talking about here. And it's problematic on multiple fronts, but like, namely, because gender and race are totally separate concepts. And where people will try to equate them is that they'll say that race is a social construct. And yes, race is a social construct. However, race is based on a phenotype that is totally separate from gender. These are not the same thing. And it is not dependent on culture. So like, your skin color is not dependent on what culture you are from. If you step foot in the United States and you are black, you will be treated probably the same way as any other black person in the US. Like, it does not matter if you are from continental Africa. It does not matter if you are from Louisiana. It does not matter if you are from Washington State. You are treated the same way as a black person in the US. And it is not dependent on your identification, is not dependent on anything else. So you cannot avoid that. And so the person was trying to say that if you are multicultural, that you are valid in being transracial. And that's not the same thing. Culture and race are not the same thing.
What?
Yeah, no, like so the point was, their point was that if you are raised in a non-white society, which is possible, like, you could be white and raised in a not white society, but that is a blend of cultures, and your heritage does not override what heritage you would have gained by being, from that culture to begin with. So like, even if you're a white person and you travel to Malaysia, you love Malaysian culture, you communicate well in like the variety of Malay languages, etc., you're still not going to be treated the same way as a Malaysian person is going to.
Can I
yeah, go for it.
Bring this into current events?
Yeah, go
like
for it.
it's like people that love Asian culture, like and they appropriate Asian culture, and then they start saying that they're Asian. Like
no, you're not. Yeah.
No, you're not. It's like, you didn't grow up. I'm like, did you grow up in Vietnam? Did you grow up in Japan? Did you grow up in China?
If you did,
and even if you did, but you were historically talking about not only culturally, because you're going to be treated differently. Let's say you were a white person that was born and raised in Japan. You are, that's circumstance.
It's like culture. It's culture and not race.
It's not race. Like, and I find that kind of frustrating, because like I am all the white people, like all the European white people, and I consider myself French, and I identify a lot with my French identity, but I wasn't born in, my ancestors were born in France. My mom immigrated from Quebec to the United States. I consider myself American with a French heritage. So like there's this conceptualization we recognize, but if someone said like, what's your race? I'm like, all the white people. But because I'm like European, I have like 2% of Jewish in me. I'm like, do I start saying like I have some Jewish in me, so I'm gonna start identifying myself as Jewish? Fuck no. Like, we understand there's context of things, and also too, when and it's kind of one of those things, it also implies that being trans is a choice. That's what that, like, when I hear that transracialism, it sounds like being trans is a choice, and it's not.
And gender varies across culture. Like, you can be feminine in one culture and masculine in another culture. Like, it's very culture dependent. And your sense of self, like your sense of, I want to wear these clothes, is not the same as saying I am from this culture or I am this race. Like, it's very different. And even so, like, I will grant, and I'm saying this as a white person, like, I'll grant somebody saying that, like, if your example of someone being born and raised in Japan or being born and raised in Vietnam, like, that is a cultural identity that you can own, like, by being immersed in that culture, by having similar customs and traditions as that culture. Like, that's totally fine. You can say like that you observe cultures of Vietnam the same that
like I observe Quebecian and Albanian culture, because that was, well, like, I was raised in that cult, like, because that's where my parents are from. But but it's also part of, I'm also American. That's also part
and it's
of
a blend. You understand that it's a blend, and it's a blend of, and where culture is a behavior. Culture is a behavior that you can choose to do, or not do.
Just like gender.
Gender. Yeah. A lot of gender in society is behavior that you can choose to do or not to. Your identity may be different from what you perform, but a lot of times in society, you're choosing to do certain actions that portray you as one gender or another. In the same sense, if like you're doing certain actions that portray you as Vietnamese, Japanese, etc., and you know that you are a blend, like if you are a white person that grew up in Japan, you are a blend of cultures. You're not claiming to be like like your heritage to be Japanese.
And like, I was like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, because like the experience is different in that if you were in the United States, like, let's say you have a couple people, both of them are white, and one of them was raised in Japan and one of them was raised in the US. If it came down to a situation where, heaven forbid, if we go back to World War II,
keep talking. Catnips wants me to let them in, so keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. No, but heaven forbid if there's a situation where we go back to internment camps and people who are ethnically Japanese get sent away to camps, which should not happen. It shouldn't happen. But if it does, the people who are white passing, and especially people who are born, even if they're born in Japan and their heritage is American, if their heritage is European, etc., they are not going to face the same oppression that Japanese people, ethnically Japanese people, are going to experience. So, like, you heard that piece, right? Like,
I have AirPods.
Kind of.
I let my cat out and got a little cord because I need to hydrate.
So, like if you have white people who, like, one of them was, even if you were raised in Japan, if we were in a case where we were like people were put back into Japanese internment camps, the person who was
you wouldn't be put in there,
even if they were raised as Japanese, they would not be put into those camps. Like there are certain aspects.
You don't look the
there
part.
are certain aspects of that ethnicity that you will not identify with, and you will not feel the oppression of. And so you cannot, even if you had similar experiences, you cannot say, I am that race, I am that culture. Like, you cannot say that because you are not oppressed in the same way that they are. You experience privilege that is different from those people. And that's where I'm not qualified to really fully weigh in on this topic because I am white.
Yeah,
I'm a white American. I don't know what it's like for someone to say, I am from your racial group, I identify with you, and then not face the same societal consequences. I cannot do that.
Like I'll give a perfect example. I work in healthcare. I work in home healthcare. And I was talking to Cynthia, and we were having a conversation about because there's a lot of benevolent racism that happens within older communities that I deal with. Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody had said something to one of our caregivers, and I said it to Cynthia, and she goes, even though a lot of people think that we're still caregivers and servants to white people, and the way that she described it is that because in the past and since slavery, we were still supposed to serve the white people, even though we're free. There is this sort of like default that like Black people are supposed to take care of white people. And when she explained that to me, before I couldn't understand it, why would someone say something like that to them? And they said, and Cindy was like, because we're still seen as people that serve white people. And I was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. But
yeah, I would love to hear.
I am not Black.
Yeah.
I couldn't conceptualize that because I'm like, that seems racist and backwards. But she goes, you have to understand, for older white people, they still see us as servants. They don't see us as actually equal. And I'm like, it's not like hatred like the KKK. And they can be kind to us and friendly and want us to have good lives. But also there's this little thing in the back of their brain that you are supposed to take care of me. You are supposed to serve me.
Yeah.
Even though like they don't want, actual harm to come to us. Yeah. And I go, oh, it's benevolent racism. And she's like, yes. So.
Yeah. I'd love to hear Cynthia's approach to transracialism and that concept, because it just doesn't work. Like, any argument to say that this is cultural is not about race. At that point, it is about culture, and culture is a behavior.
Right.
And it's not the same as race. And race is a preconceived notion about who you should be and what you should do based on your skin color and your appearance. Right. And if you, like, sorry to say it, if your appearance does not match that of others, you're not going to be treated the same. And that's the thing. Like, even if you are white and raised in a Black community, you will not be treated the same as Black people in that community. And so you should just shut the fuck up. And like, we all should shut the fuck up.
Right. Because I'm always whenever I talk to someone that's from a different cultural background than I grew up in, or a different, racial social group than I've been raised in, I usually learn something that usually makes me go, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. but also too, I don't invalidate that, because guess what? I've also experienced being other, just having, a vagina and presenting as, as a woman, that they're like, you're less intelligent, or like, I used to have people tell me that because I have big breasts that I'm less intelligent. I'm like, that does not correlate together. But I've been told that to my face, that because this was when I was younger, that because I have bigger boobs, that somehow that makes me less intelligent. And I'm like, how? And that is just something that you're just told because society says this about you.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, like, I had a little bit of that growing up as AFAB, but there's also, I've learned more recently, and you might be able to weigh in on this piece too, but there's a difference in where you grow up and how much of that you're given. And I've learned recently about differences in the South, and in especially the rural South, how very prevalent that stuff is. And I was raised in Colorado. I was raised in urban Colorado. And like, yeah, I've had some points where, there's some sexism, but it's not anywhere near the extent that it could have been, like in like the rural South. So like, we have to be conscious of differences in people's upbringing.
Like if you're growing up in,
yeah,
like if you're like, I grew up in New Hampshire, which is liberal, compared to Florida. But
compared
I also live in a,
still, I think it's more conservative compared to the rest of New England. But
yeah. But like the thing is though, is that like also too, like growing up in New Hampshire, there is still, but I grew up in an area that was very French Catholic.
Yeah.
If you're a French Catholic, it's culture. This is what we're talking about, culture, the culture that you're raised in. Like my parents wanted me to go to college and have an education, but they also wanted me to save myself for marriage. Like you can have, like, I want my daughter to have an education, be able to have a career, but her sexuality isn't her own. Her sexuality belongs to her husband. That's the message that I got, so you can have these two different thoughts. And that's where, like, if we're talking about like religious trauma, mine's not like fear of hell. Mine is messaging, like, being as a queer person and as a woman, that type of messaging that goes into, and this goes into what we're talking about even within our own community, is that everyone thinks that, well, if you're an atheist and progressive, you're going to understand everything. It's like, no, because like I'm constantly being educated on shit I don't know. Like somebody's like, oh no, like I've experienced this. Hell, we were doing a non-profits episode like 3 weeks ago, and one of our hosts presented cis, and I assumed he was straight, and just on appearance, and I go, oh my God, I did a prejudice. Just based on like, social signifiers, and I know better. And that's the thing, is that you're just like, oh fuck, like I did a prejudice. Because you forget, and because also the culture, majority of the culture that I live in is cis and straight presenting. Like I present, and like this is the thing we talk about privilege. Like when someone doesn't know you're trans and they just treat you as just a regular man, you're just like, cool. But
it's wild.
But then but also at the same time, like at the same time, there's a little voice back in your head, like, like, if like I present cis and straight, no, I'm not. Like I'm like, I think gender, like I'm a she, they, because I'm like, gender is just a construct. So I find all that bunch of bullshit. And also too, it's just like, I'm not straight. I'm in a straight relationship presenting, but I'm not, but I have that privilege, and a lot of people don't. And that's the thing that pisses me off. It's just like, that's why I'm so like angry when people are like, give people shit for how they present and who they love. I'm just like, why does it fucking matter? I'm like, how does this affect you? Please explain.
And like how, like speaking of recovering from religion, like how people process their trauma and their
Yeah.
upbringing because it's so different. Like my experience, I mean, I'm a pastor's kid, so I have that going for me, but I'm also from, like, I was born in Wisconsin, grew up in Colorado. Like, even if I was in, like, the more red armpit of Colorado, like, I was still in Colorado. I was still in a place in the West. People don't give a shit what you believe. Like, let's be real.
Nobody.
Like, the West,
That's how
the
you
West
give a
Coast,
shit.
the West Coast, and, like, and even like the west of the Mississippi, for the most part, like, they're sure, like, closer to the Mississippi, you get more southern, you get more restrictions. But on the west side of the country, people do not give a shit about you in general. They do not care. And it's funny talking with my roommates here who are from, you know, the Midwest or from the South, and say, yeah, like, you can do things, you can be totally atypical, you can be a different gender identity, different gender presentation. People may still judge you, but, like, it's internal. They don't vocalize it. They just keep things whatever to themselves and nobody knows about it, which, like, yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem if you are just judging people for no reason, but like, they're not going to be hostile because the underlying
Like,
the underlying idea is that you have your own autonomy and you do what you want with it. And, like, you can approve or disapprove.
Like someone that's like, I don't agree with you, but I don't care. Like, I like you might be trans and I might think it's gross, but also I'm not going to interrupt your daily life.
Yeah, that's the West. That is the West Coast society.
That. Like be a silent bigot.
Yeah, you will never get that in Florida. I'm just saying, you will never get that in Florida. But
oh no,
like,
you'll get it in pockets. In Sarasota, where I'm from. In Sarasota, which has one of the biggest liberal arts colleges that got taken over. Thank you, fucking DeSantis. The new college debate. I'm sorry. I have a friend that is the head of the mental health facility there and is a Satanist. My friend Sarah, who has to protect all the trans kids. And gross. DeSantis, because it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Is It Woke did a whole podcast on what's happening in New College was the thing. But there are pockets of, like, when I could be out. Like, I can wear my queer shit and be out as an atheist and not feel threatened even where I live. And I live in a red county because nobody cares. So there's, like, would I do this in East Bumfuck, Alabama? No.
Are you, like, in the southern part of Florida or, like, the northern part?
I'm on the Sun Coast. I'm in Port Charlotte, which is just like 2 hours south.
I don't know where that is. Is that south or north?
Do you know where Tampa? Do you know where Tampa is? Do you know where Tampa is?
Yeah, I know where Tampa is.
Okay, so I'm about an hour and a half south of Tampa.
Okay, because I know, like, Florida is hit or miss if you're in the north versus the south. It
depends where you are. Because if you get so, like, for example, me and my best friend is gay as the day is long, and we were driving into we would do what we call Zen trips. We would just pick a direction and just drive somewhere, and we would make a day out of it. And we ended up somewhere in Citrus County, which is in Central Florida. And I was like, I'm white and I feel like a person of color here because, like, it's like just the energy of, like, being like a queer goth in this area. And he goes, "You're my wife." Like, he's like, "You're my wife," and I'm like, "Okay, sure, we're a couple now." Going. You're
either couples or your siblings. That's one of the two.
Yeah, we're a couple or siblings. I'm like, I'm your beard, whatever. Like, I was his beard at work for a long time.
Yeah.
but you kind of know the vibe. Where in other areas, like, like, this is my best friend, and you can talk about things casually. Nobody gives a fucking shit. But in other places,
like in Colorado,
vibe. You know it. You're like,
in Colorado. Like, you don't have to explain yourself. You just exist. And it doesn't fucking matter.
There's certain places in Florida you have to explain yourself. They're going to ask you what church you go to.
And that's why.
And if you go, "I don't go to church," they ask why. And
that's why I'm saying, like, it's different for everybody in their experience, because, again, on the west side of the country, it's very, very different. Like, if you're in Portland, no one's going to ask you. No one's going to, like, no one cares. No one gives a shit. In fact, if you're not weird, you're the odd one out in Portland. So, like, and even like in Colorado to an extent, yeah, it's chill in El Paso. El Paso, I will say El Paso is very, very Catholic, but it's Mexican Catholic. It is not US Catholic. So it's like people mind their own fucking business here. Like they don't ask, they don't care. They
I
just
wonder because it's
exist.
Mexican Catholic. I wonder because it's not white Catholic. Like
Yeah,
French
it's not white
Catholics.
Catholic. Yeah.
Because I grew up French Catholic. French Catholics are all in everybody else's shit. And also, if you're Irish Catholic or Italian Catholic, like there was like where I grew up, there was like rivalries between like what kind of Catholic you were. Because Catholic is also very specific to culture.
Yeah. And like in all fairness, the only reason why Mexico is Catholic is because of colonialism. So
yeah, because like, we suck.
Catholicism is not native to Mexico.
Yeah,
at all.
No, they like, and that's what I also find very, very funny about like when people talk about like, you know, why don't they follow Western values? I'm like, they do. They're Western. I'm like, do you know how many Mexicans are Catholic, which is a Western value, came from like fucking Italy?
Like, yeah, it's different. The way they see it is different, and like they see like. I know that they're more rigid within their family structure. Like within their own family, they will be more strict on their Catholicism, but like they're not going to police other people. Like that's not something I've seen here. Like it's very much, this is my personal thing. I'm going to keep it within my own family and you do what you want kind of thing. And that's the thing, like Colorado, like when I was growing up, despite like being a pastor's kid, etc., like dispensaries, like weed was legal in Colorado long before I came out of Christianity. Like weed has been legal in Colorado for a long time. Let me see what the actual date was.
When did you leave your faith?
Right before med school. So it would have been probably 2019. It would have been 2019, 2018, something around there.
Okay.
So not too long ago. But yeah, Colorado legalized weed in 2012. So I just graduated high school when weed was legalized in Colorado.
My God.
So yeah, no, but the whole point is like I feel like I was sheltered. I was sheltered in my family. I'm a baby, yeah. No, but I was sheltered in my family. But meanwhile, the rest of my state was legalizing weed, and they were one of the first to do so. So, like, I was in a state, like, I'm using that as a way to say I was privileged. Like, I was in a place where even if I came out as atheist long before I did, I would have found people that would have been okay with me, and I would not have been ostracized by my whole society. My society was legalizing weed long before anybody else was. So I would have been okay. But
well, you know, even
other people
like weed.
So, well, yeah, like, but they do. But the whole point is like I feel like the states that legalize weed, it's not a matter of religiosity or not. It's a matter of autonomy. It's a matter of
yeah.
It's like this state respects autonomy, and they say you can do what you want with your body, and that's it. That's what the weed discussion comes down to. No, I do not support it for minors. I don't support it for pets. Like I don't support it for people who cannot consent to it. I support it for people who are of age and who can consent to the benefits and consequences of doing said action.
What I told my kids when
it's like alcohol.
I smoke
it's like alcohol.
I smoke weed. And I told my kids, I was like, listen, I go, your brains are still developing. I can do this because my brain is fully developed.
Yeah.
I want your brain to do the things it needs to do. And I go, if you do substances, especially in excess, it's going to fuck up your brain. And if you explain that to people, like, you know, you trust kids to be able to make decisions because, yeah, they don't have long-term consequence, you know, but they do have immediate consequence. And also, too, it's like, hey, do you want to have a functioning brain when you get, you know, after 25? Then don't smoke a lot of weed. I don't care if you smoke like once in a while with your friends or whatever. And I also told my kids, I'm like, if you get drunk, just call. If you get high, just call. I'm like,
Yeah,
and I'll
be
come and
safe.
get you. I'm not gonna scold you for that, because you're actually, this is what adults do when we
You be
consume
safe.
too much
Yeah.
of a substance, is to be safe. And I think that under like, this is why when people are like, if kids see something, are they going to do it? I'm like, well, yes, but also if you give them context, they can also make good decisions.
Right. And so that's
Yeah.
where, like, I use Colorado as an example to say, like,
Right.
my state allowed for a lot of stuff that not everybody's state allows for. And so I was privileged in a way that I could, if I wanted to experiment with things, I could do that. I could do that safely. I could do a lot of things and still have a community, still have a home, still have all this. And there are a lot of people in the US who,
That
I
don't.
look at them and I say, my deconstruction and my deconversion didn't look like that. But you know what? I was in a safer place than they are. And so somebody in bumfuck Arkansas, somebody in bumfuck Kansas, Oklahoma, Georgia, etc., like, they don't have that luxury that I do. And if they need to be more angry, then, like, they can be more angry about it. They had more taken away from them than I did.
Right. And that's the thing. I was never an angry atheist. I was just like, after I went to college and I took some psychology and philosophy classes and started like really looking at my perspectives, and because I called it Jeff the Thousand Cuts. It wasn't like I woke up one day and like I was an atheist. And like it took a while. But then when I got there, I was like, oh, I don't have any justification for what I believe. And I didn't suffer any consequence. I'm like, my brothers like are weird with it, but they still love me. And we have issues, but like I wasn't rejected by my family. My dad, before he died, we had a conversation a month like a month and a half before he passed away. And he goes, I know you don't believe, but I said, well, Dad, I go, because he was talking about like I'm also thinking about this because tomorrow's Father's Day and it's my first Father's Day without my dad. And but the last conversation that I had with him, he goes, I know you don't believe, but he goes, I promise my best friend, his best friend Peter, that they would meet at the pearly gates. And I said, and I did say to him, I'm like, Dad, I hope what you say is true, because that means you and I will see each other again, but we can't know. And he said, no, you know what? We don't know, but I choose to believe it. That was, he made it was a choice. And that to me, like, and I was like, okay, like that's something that you can connect on. But but he still loved me as his daughter. And there are people that don't get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that I had that. And for people that don't get it, that's why I have so much empathy for people, especially people that I talk to recovering from religion, that their family is just like, I don't want nothing to do with you because you're queer or you don't believe the same things that I do. I'm going over here going like, I don't understand that. Because it's a difference of opinion, and I will never understand people that don't care about each other just for a difference of opinion, unless it's fucking bigoted. And then if it's bigoted, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like no, like you can't, like this is something we can't compromise on.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a place where zero drama, but like I understand if people have more of a reaction to certain things than I do. So
yeah,
which we got a question inside chat for you about when you're coming here, and I know we've discussed this before, but
yes, I'll be there in August. Like August.
We got Layla. You're gonna meet
11th.
Layla for the you're gonna meet Layla.
I get to meet Layla. I'm so
you get to meet Layla.
Like HS, like we're gonna hang and it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, Layla's, for people who don't know, Layla's the hookah I bought this past week.
She's
Layla's
very
great.
pretty.
She's very pretty. She's very pretty. She tastes good too. We put some strawberry cream flavor in her.
I used to go to hookah bars back in the day when it was a thing. like here, and it was a thing. Like,
come hang out. We got Layla.
oh my god, I'm so excited.
You can come to the shop with us
so
and
much
pick.
Trouble. I'm so excited.
You can pick out a flavor if you want. You can pick out a flavor.
Oh,
you come to the shop with us. We'll pick out a flavor.
Okay, we'll go shopping.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You're gonna pick me up from the airport. We're gonna have so much fun. Like I finalized my flights. Like I was like,
yeah, you're not gonna be able to leave very much because you're just gonna be too incapacitated to leave the house.
Well, I'm gonna have a whole week of like, well, I'm very stoned.
You're gonna have real Mexican food while we smoke hookah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
We have a pool, bring your swimsuit. Yeah,
Todd can't come, which I'm kind of pissed off about because of his stupid PTO. Like,
yeah, we also have.
But next year we're gonna do I'm gonna because next year I plan to go to American Atheist Conference. That's another thing I want to do. I
will probably next year. I might be back in residency, so we'll see what I'm doing at that time.
We'll see what you're doing next year. What you're gonna have to change your career. Well, but we'll
real Mexican food.
We'll hang out.
Real Mexican. We're gonna get you real Mexican food while we smoke hookah in the back.
There was to be fair,
it's fucking good.
To be fair, there was a really great Mexican restaurant that was run by actual people from Mexico that made real Mexican food. And it did not.
But
last.
I doubt yours is at Mexican prices like ours is.
No, it was very capitalism prices.
Because Mexico is 3 miles
that was
that
the
way.
best.
3 miles that way.
Todd makes better Mexican food than the stuff that we can actually get at a Mexican restaurant.
Can you get 2 burritos for $5? Burritos
no, I can't.
for $5.
Unless Todd's making it, yes.
At the Mexican market, we are 3 miles from the border here. We got this.
My gringo ass wants some real fucking Mexican food.
It's gonna be fun.
There was this woman that used to sell tamales. This Mexican woman that used to sell tamales out of the back of her car. In my old neighborhood, and I would always buy them because they were so good, and it'd be 2 tamales for $5. I was like, girl.
Yeah, you can have authentic Mexican within a 2-minute walk of either direction.
Girl, where you're going? Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Pick a direction, walk in that direction, you will find a place. We got places. Yeah.
And give me some cheap tequila and we're down.
Oh, honey, we don't do cheap tequila here. We don't do cheap tequila here. We got good tequila here.
Okay, no, I mean cheap.
I got 2 bottles. No, I got 2 bottles of $100 tequila. So come visit.
Oh my god, we're gonna get lit.
We're gonna get lit. Anyway,
this is my dream come true.
This is backstage conversation happening live. So if anyone wants to visit, we got 2 bottles of $100 tequila there.
And Cara is gonna be a thing.
Yeah. And we have a sex shed, and by that I mean we have the pool house that has a room in it with all the dildos in the drawers. Yeah, we got all that shit. Oh yeah, we got 2 people that do sex work here, so we got it.
Well, there you go. That's all.
We're gonna fuck Helen up. Yeah. You may or may not get laid while you're here. Just I don't know. It depends on what you want.
Listen. At the last excursion I had sex, so I'm just saying.
Was that with your husband or with somebody else?
No, it was with other people besides my husband.
Hey, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Cherry doesn't care. I had sex with Sherry at the last excursion. So.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So.
Fuck yeah.
Not on premises. It was at the Airbnb we rented before.
Oh, fuck yeah. Amazing.
Because I was those fucking cabins sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but come here. We'll have lots of fun.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna
be
a good time.
I think we're all poly here, so I think we're all good.
Yes, so we're fine.
Yeah. No one will be offended.
It's gonna be a great time. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Not just not the sex. I'm so excited. I keep telling I'm gonna get to hang out with my friend Ben and
the pool.
And I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am.
And more fun things I'll tell you about off the air that I can't say on the air.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I do want to kind of bring this back to the conversation we were having because we kind of got
Yeah,
sidetracked.
we got so distracted.
Yeah, but it's the ADHD.
That's the show, though. It seems like
show.
This is the show, though. Is getting distracted.
It is the show to get distracted. Well, like I had AT Coffee on the other night, which he was talking about his deconstruction story, but we also ended up talking about politics and a bunch of other stuff. And we also talked about how how society is not kind to ex-pastors and helping them adjust to secular life. So we had a conversation about that as well. So that was a really interesting conversation that we had. But I oh girl, you haven't seen me blush. Like I have makeup on right now.
We're gonna get you more blushed. Yeah.
I know. Oh girl.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to make me blush. Like
thinking about sex in the pool house in El Paso, Texas.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what can I bring on the plane?
Other stuff they can't bring, we probably already have here. So
then I'm not gonna bring. I'm just gonna leave my stuff at home.
Oh, we got toys here. We got toys. We're
okay,
good.
We'll be fine. Yeah, okay, so moving on from that conversation. I think also a problem with our community too is this sort of this attitude of, well, I'm a skeptic and I've debunked like bad ideas, so I am now free from bad ideas, and which is a problem, because, and I think that's where a little bit of the problem is the sort of idea that once you
I'm too good for that.
What?
I'm too good for that perspective.
Right.
Like, I'm too good
and
to
I'm
do that.
Like, no, I'm like, you have prejudices, but like, even if you're the most progressive person in the world, like, again, like I'm always learning something, and like, again, you'll do a prejudice. You'll do it. Yeah. And it's okay because you don't know. And
you don't know. And then once you know,
psychologically primed to have a certain perspective. The only thing you have to go is like, I was wrong about that. I now got educated by someone else's experience that actually lives that life. Now I will adjust.
You just correct yourself.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem. I saw this back with Gamergate, and I still see it now every so often, especially with recent things. I'm just like, and then like as Brenly pointed out, when they were talking about this, was like, no, like not like, well, you know, I think somebody said that, like, you know, I don't understand why people are getting upset about this. I try to be like open to everything, and I'm like, you can't be open to everything. You can't be open to racism. You can't be open to transphobia, homophobia. You can't. Like, there are certain things you cannot be open to. Like, those are like, no. Like,
you can platform them to debunk them. That is appropriate. That is allowed. But do not be open to them to let them speak their mind and not be challenged. That's the deal breaker there. If you will challenge them, it is okay. But if you will not challenge them, do not platform them.
I love that. I love that Bree's over here, like promoting, like getting like snockered.
I'm not going to speak for Bree, but I think Bree wants to fuck you. So
okay, well, it'll be a good time then.
I think you'll have fun.
We'll have a good time.
No, but I will say, like, from experience of people in the house, not going that far, but the people in the house have said that they do, but they have said that they do want to meet you. They do want to have fun. Like, they think we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be a good time.
Honey, we're gonna have so much fun. Like, definitely make out.
It's gonna blush super hard. You're gonna get tired of the amount of tongue we have in this house, Helen. Like, it's a lot of tongue. So
I can touch my tongue to my nose.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, I love the comment. Bree and Helen. Yeah. That's a lot of hotness
That's
in
gonna be a
one place
lot.
at the same time. Yeah, a lot. Breeze wet. Just think about it.
Good.
I know.
Flood the basement. That's my goal.
Yeah, flood the basement. We have a basement dungeon, so we could play D&D
like,
in the basement dungeon.
Perfect.
Yeah.
D&D, and also, oh my God, Ben, you're gonna have. Okay, you know how we're talking about like how like when you're trying like before you go to residency and become busy, and
Yeah.
I'm good. Like I was good. Like I have to run my D&D campaign where.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. Easy.
No, we're gonna do it, and it's based. I wrote D&D campaign based on the apocalypse and Revelations because.
Oh, do you? So I guess the one question is, do you want to do this off air or do you want to do it as a stream?
Ooh, I think we should do it as a stream. I think it would be really fun if
we'll talk.
Like,
we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk it like because like once a month we can do it in like 8 sessions, like 6 to 8 sessions.
Okay,
like,
nice. Yeah,
like it's very easy because it'd be like and hot poly pansexiness. Yes, yes, exactly. Oh my God. All you fucking nerds.
D&D and hot poly pan sexiness. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hot poly pansexiness and D&D. Like, what? Yeah. Like, this is the thing. Like, you know, who plays D&D? I'm like a bunch of queers.
Yes. Oh, there's a question for me in side chat. Any thoughts on health misinformation and spreading literacy and supporting health careers? I mean, my biggest thought is vet your sources. Like, pick your sources wisely. If you cannot cite a reputable source, do not make the argument at all. And I say that because from TACUS this week, we had somebody who's making the argument of like, just doesn't believe in trans people because that's what they learned in like grade school. And that's it. And I tried to ask them, where did you get this information? And they could not list it. So get reputable sources. And if you are content with the sources you have, cite them. Cite your sources. Okay. Because if they're incorrect sources, you will be told that they are incorrect sources.
Okay, here's a question. On that note.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding is that trans healthcare is like in like where we're not, you know, ideologues, is a part of just healthcare. Like this is just a thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because like when I, for example, went to the OBGYN, they were like, what were you assigned at birth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's commonplace. It's commonplace. Yeah. Especially now in the past few years, the whole healthcare system has changed their minds because, as we say, and I've said this and Forrest has said this, like once our model is outdated, we change the model. We learned that we were wrong and we fix it. And that's what medicine has done. Like, medicine in the past has said that gender and sex were the same. We no longer say that. And now we've changed it to where we're asking you, what is your sex assigned at birth? And like, how do you identify? And that is science. So if you are behind on that, you are just ignoring the newest data and focusing on outdated information. And you should not be doing that.
Right. Cause like like I'm on hormone replacement therapy. But I've been calling it gender affirming cure because that's exactly what it is. I'm going through a transition right now. I'm going through puberty reverse. It's super fun, by the way.
It sounds miserable.
So much. It's like I live in Florida. I get hot flashes all the time. I now take hormones, and I'm like, this is gender affirming care. So like I still want to experience my life normally as I do. So I'm taking hormones, and that's just the way it is. And then when someone's like, well, I'm like, well, if a cis man takes like, tea for like, to get erections again and all that type of shit. Like, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So I'm like, well, so if someone was born a certain sex and they want to take certain hormones, that's not gender affirming. Again, make it make sense.
And even surgeries, like cis men are getting penis pumps.
Yeah. Women
like
get
plenty of cis men are
one of
getting
my
penis
good
bumps.
friends got a breast enlargement because they
Yeah.
had very small breasts and they wanted bigger. They wanted it for years, and they got breast augmentation surgery.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to feel more feminine. And that one of the social signifiers of being a female is that you have titties.
That's why I got rid of mine. So it's
right. Like my oldest wants to get rid of their breasts. And again, I'm like, it's your body.
Yeah,
I don't
an individual
fucking care.
decision.
Yeah,
you
it's
do
an
what you
individual
want with your
decision.
body.
I don't care. I'm always like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't really care. Are you a kind person? The rest, I don't really care.
Yeah, as long as you are old enough to make a decision and you understand that
own.
is a permanent decision, then go for it. Do what you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can make your own decision.
I think that where my problem is that when people start gatekeeping what other people decide what they can and cannot do, then I'm kind of like, why are you like? And I think it says more about the person than anything else. And like this certain idea makes me uncomfortable, and I don't know how to process it. So I'm going to attack that community or attack that person because I cannot conceptualize. Like, I can't conceptualize what it's like to be trans. I have no fucking clue, but I'm not going to tell any of my trans friends or my child or anybody else, like, hey, you know what? My only opinion is the one that matters. So you should just listen to me. like what?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to answer this actually goes along well with everything else, but what about nursing, medicine, public health career paths? Is there such a thing as too old to pursue? Who should and shouldn't go into these fields? And I have different answers for every individual. Like, it is very much what do you want to do? What will you not regret in your lifetime? Because if you say, if I die tomorrow and I have not done this thing and you regret it, you should fucking pursue the thing. Like, for me, I started in theater, and it was for me saying I will regret it if I do not pursue medicine, and so I did it. If you are going to regret not doing the thing, just do the thing. If you have to figure out how to pay for it, figure out how to pay for it. It's expensive. It's a lot of work. You will figure it out. If it is something that you need to do to not regret your life, then fucking do it. Do all the things. My one caution, and it's not for the other paths, but for medicine specifically, because medicine sucks. Like, I love medicine. I love being a doctor, but
you are preaching the same thing that every other doctor I've talked to.
It sucks really bad, and you cannot leave. Once you are in it, you cannot get out. And like a nurse, once you're graduated, you can work as a nurse. When you're a physician assistant, you can work straight out of school as a physician assistant. I'm kicked out of the military, and I cannot really get a job until I finish residency, even though I am licensed. Like, there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of
for the most
bullshit
stupid reason ever.
There's a lot of stuff.
I'm so mad.
And you give your life to a career path. Medicine in particular, you will go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Like, my colleagues in my own class are probably around 400K in debt. And you're stuck. You're stuck in that career. It's a very toxic environment. Like, more so than any other. Like, you'll go into other aspects of healthcare. Like, I was an EMT first. It was okay. I didn't particularly like it, but the way they teach doctors is particularly toxic, and you will hate yourself, and you will work ungodly hours that no one should ever be subjected to, and you will not be paid properly for those hours that you work, and you will bear all of the responsibility for everything. And that's the difference that I will say be cautious with, because any other job in healthcare, you do not bear that ultimate responsibility for. As a physician, you bear all of it. And even if you are a day one intern, I mean, granted, you're signing things away to the attending at that point, but they will treat you like it's your responsibility. All of it is your responsibility. If someone dies day one as an intern, that's your fucking fault. That is your fault. Yeah. So if you pursue medicine,
that's the attitude. Like, and also too, like if I go see a doctor, I'm unfortunately, like if I go see a specialist or I go see my regular, primary care doctor, if they diagnose me wrong, give me the wrong medication, and there's something
you are sued. The doctor is
the one that's going to be sued.
And even if your medical assistant fucks up, if your nurse fucks up, if your PA fucks up, you are responsible because you signed off on it, or even if you didn't sign off on it, if they were able to practice and you were still their supervisor, you are on the hook. So if you want to be a physician, that is, I will caution physicians the absolute most. It sucks. Like, and the only reason to pursue medicine is that you will not be satisfied with anything else. And if you arrive at that decision, and because that's just exactly what I did. I had multiple doctors tell me, don't do it, be happy, go do something else, be happy. And I said, fuck that. And I did it anyway. And I'm saying the same thing that they said to everybody else. If you think that you will only be happy in this one career ever, do it. Do not quit. Just go full force, do it. Commit everything you have to it. Go for it. But if it is anything other than that, just don't. Do something else. But do something in healthcare. It's fine.
I couldn't do that because it would give me, like, I already have generalized anxiety disorder. Like if I have
it made mine so worse.
I couldn't do it because I also have a very, like, again, perceived rejection dysphoria.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad in medicine. It's so bad.
Increase like empathy, intelligence. Like I could not be a doctor because I would be like constantly in panic attacks. Like,
it's bad. It's so bad. Yeah. My room asked my roommates about any evidence of PTSD that I have because I have it, and I refused to do anything about it. But yeah, but that's being said. That being said,
my therapist is my maintenance.
No, I love therapy. I love therapy. I need more aggressive stuff than therapy, probably. No, but that being said, like, and that's to the audience.
You need like a vision camp and like a primal retreat where you start like just screaming into the
No, I'm on ADHD meds. I probably need some other meds other than my ADHD.
I'm on an antidepressant.
And you're still horny as fuck, which is impressive.
What?
Well, you said you're on an antidepressant and you're still horny as fuck, which is impressive. Yeah, it's impressive.
That's just my natural state. Like that.
Well, no, but normally for most people,
I've been on Wellbutrin has been the drug since I like.
You're on Wellbutrin. That's acceptable. Wellbutrin is what we use to make people horny again. So, but I was like, if you were on an SSRI and we're still horny, I'd be impressed.
No, I'm on an NSRI. So
okay, yeah. So more horny.
So like it does not affect my sex drive.
But for Mark again, you're saying thanks again.
Like, that's why I wear. Okay, so I wore this T-shirt today. My college-educated evil feminist slut at the protest today, and I had a couple old ladies who were like, "I love your shirt," and I was like, "Thank you." I'm like, "It's a slut that sells it."
For Mark in the side chat, like, yeah, I know you asked the question and you're saying thanks again. And again, like, this is an individual advice. Like, if you are absolutely insane enough to pursue medicine and that is the one thing you want, like, I will support you. I will support that. I'm not saying I won't, but I will. Just, you are absolutely insane if you do. That's all I'm saying.
It was really funny. Like, when I went in to get my gender affirming care treatment for perimenopause, the attending physician was a baby. Like, he looked like he was all like about your age, and I was like, cool. And then he goes,
because I would be if I went to med school right after college, I would be an attending by now. If I graduated, I should have been graduating residency in 2026, and I'm not going to because I did not want to be family medicine. But if I did do that, I would be graduating in 2026. So
yeah, so he's a baby,
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you're not quite young enough to be my son, but you're close. It was one of those moments. But he goes, but he was also really like, I could tell he was new because his bedside manner was like very like walking me. I'm like, I hope you maintain this. Like, I hope you maintain this like fair, because I've also been with older physicians that just don't give a shit. Like, and I'm like, please maintain this, you fresh young eye little guffling. Please maintain this, because he answered all my questions. He was very kind, very attentive. Like, it was a 15-minute conversation, which I really appreciated, which I know some people don't get. Like, I also get it with my primary care physician, because she's a woman and we're about the same age. So like I can sit down with her, but I've also been in doctor's offices because I own a vagina where they kind of just pass you over, where I said like, it's just stress. And I'm like,
no,
I'm sorry. The pain that I'm having in my ovary is stress.
Yeah. Oh, I should tell you a story. So I don't personally know this person, but this was the battalion surgeon before I came to Fort Bliss. So this person was also GMO, so like not board certified.
I'm gonna go refill my drink. Keep talking.
You can hear me though, right?
Tell me the story.
Okay.
I'm doing the same thing I did. I couldn't hear you. Okay.
So this person is now. Oh, I think he's no longer practicing. I think he got booted from his residency, which would be appropriate. But he ended up going to psychiatry, which I was super surprised by based on him. But apparently, like the PA was who I worked with was the one that told me the story, because I took over after this this doctor left. And so there's a pretty straightforward algorithm for anyone with abnormal uterine bleeding. So like any periods that are irregular, there's a workup for it. Like, you take that seriously, you do your things, you make sure it's not hormonal, that it's not ovarian cyst, that it's not something else. And then if you don't know what to do after that, you send them to gyne. You send them to the gynecologist, and then they do it from there. And this guy, so like, only did the ultrasound, which is one part of many, many pieces of the puzzle that you do for this workup. And he calls the person with the results, and it was pretty inconclusive, which means it's probably not something related to the ultrasound, like meaning that it's not a tumor, it's not like cancer or anything like that. It's not a structural abnormality that you can see from the outside. It's probably either hormonal or something internal that you can't see on the ultrasound. And so the person was asking, reasonably so, so then why am I bleeding like this? And he just said, well, sounds like bad luck, I guess. And that was it. And he only did one part of the thing and didn't refer straight away. So that's a problem. But I'll wait for you to get back so you can give your commentary on that situation. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Like, and literally, I refilled my drink and I went pee. I did that all that time.
Yeah, but you heard that, right? Like,
oh my god,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, so person
just
who had
bad luck, like
abnormal periods.
You didn't test for like endometriosis or anything like that.
You can't. The only way you can rule out endometriosis, the only way you can actually test for that is by a laparotomy. So you have to have surgery to confirm endometriosis. So you could say it's a differential. You could say it's possible that you have this. The only one that can rule out endometriosis is a gynecologist. So if you are not a gynecologist,
you do a referral and
yeah, you put it in a referral. Yeah, absolutely. It's that easy. It's that easy. You put it. What you do?
Diagnose for you need to go see a specialist.
Yeah. So you start off the whole thing. They come to you and they say, "Hey, I have abnormal uterine bleeding," or like they say, "My periods are irregular," whatever. And you ask them all the questions, and then you say, "Okay, we're gonna do an ultrasound. We're gonna do like some hormone tests, because it might be your thyroid, it might be any number of your hormones that could be doing it. We'll do a pregnancy test, like we'll do Like, and if those things are all normal, one of the options is you start them on birth control and you see how it goes. Like that's an option. And for a lot of people, if it's some hormonal thing that's not easily seen elsewhere, because we don't routinely test estrogen, we don't do all that stuff. So like routinely you can try give an MR. Oh dang, yeah, you wasn't diagnosed with spinal condition until mid-30s. Was not given an MRI until then. Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, like if something is chronic, you should just maybe veer towards imaging when it's persistent. But like with periods and stuff, like oftentimes you can try a contraceptive, and if the contraceptive does not make them do any better and everything else is normal, you refer them. And even if you don't go that far, like let's say you're this guy and you order the ultrasound and it's normal and you don't know what else to do. If you have not looked at the data, you have not read any books since then, which you should have, you should know this stuff. Then if you don't know, you say, hey, I see that what I ordered is not remarkable, but there's other things that this could be, and I'm going to refer you to a specialist so that they can look further. That's all you have to do. You don't have to lie to them. You don't have to say that it's bad luck, I guess. You don't have to shrug it off. You can just say, hey, I'm not the right person to address this. I'm going to send you to someone who is. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like that's very, and like I understand because people have egos and but like when you're talking about healthcare, I'm like, if you don't know something, like, hey, I did what is standard for my particular position. This might be something that I don't have the education on. Let me refer you to someone that might be able to give you more help because this is not my specialty. Like if I have like bone problems and I'm seeing my regular like general physician, I hope they will go, hey, you know what? You need to go see an ortho doctor.
Yeah. And for this person too, the scariest part of this particular person is that he got into psychiatry residency. Like he wanted to be a psychiatrist. And like, if you don't know how to validate people and like work through that interpersonal side,
the brain.
Yeah. If you can't work with interpersonal things and communicate, you can't be a psychiatrist. You have to communicate well to be a psychiatrist. That's the whole job. That's the entire job is communication.
You know what happened? Like my oldest has some of this might be physical because they have some cysts on their brains. They have 3 different cysts on their brains, so it is affecting different parts of their brain, and it can produce like major depressive disorder, schizoaffective issues. Okay, so
that person needs multiple people on board to handle that.
Okay, but they were on a really good med regimen. Okay,
yeah.
And this person's attitude was less meds were better. And I'm like, and they're texting me because they know my background's in psych. And I'm like, nope, you need a second opinion. Nope, no. Are your meds working for you? No. And guess what? 2 months after their meds were changed, they had SI. So weird that happened. And that's the thing about like if something is working for the patient says like, this is my regular med regimen that was recommended by this doctor, I'm doing really good on it, please don't change anything, and they start talking about how they want to change stuff, it's just because they're like less meds is better. It's like, I'm like,
it's not a good reason.
Not just like I'm like they have cysts on their brains and there are certain medications that they have to be on. They're working with neurologists and psychiatry. Like you
they should have both on board. Yeah.
So why are you, because less meds are, I'm like, who decided that? Exactly.
Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Just keep in mind, man, though, I mean, under RFK Jr., you and I are going to go to wellness camp and get our ADHD cured.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm giving a talk tomorrow on anti-vax rhetoric, so that'll be
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be there if my plans do not change, I will be there. So tomorrow,
Sweet, yeah,
because Clyde invited me. It is a very special, like, and here's the thing, like, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. Like, I'm not. Like, I am a layperson that is just curious, and I just want facts. Because, like, one thing my parents taught me from when I was a very young child, it was like, trust the people that actually, like, virologists, you know, your doctors and things like that. And if something doesn't seem right to you, get a second opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, be vetted. And my parents were Catholic.
Yeah.
So, but
what are you drinking? What are you drinking, Helen?
I am drinking some apple cider, LaCroix, and vodka because we're out of orange juice.
Ooh. Okay, so here's the drink for Pride that you have to know about.
Okay.
So it's from a
did
video.
You see my Pride nails? Did you see my Pride nails?
Oh, I do. Yes. So this is the drink from. I didn't make the rules. It's from somebody on TikTok, who is from the South and absolutely gorgeous. She like.
I can't wait till I'm not drinking red Kool-Aid and we're gonna. I know.
Yes.
It's just gonna happen because.
I have some cures to ADHD, but I mean they're not cures, but I have some amphetamines right next to me.
I took my amphetamines this morning anyway.
I didn't, and I should have. But anyway, so okay, the drink. So the rule is though, you have to. Oh, Henry's just sitting pretty impatient in the chair. That's adorable. Henry's the dog, our puppy.
He's so cute. I love him.
He got his rabies vaccine today because he's old enough now. So we did that, but he got toys and treats for going. Yeah, he's a big boy. He has 21 pounds.
Okay,
now.
so what Pride drink do I drink?
Okay. So the rule is though, you have to, if you lick the glass, if you lick it, you finish it. That's the rule, right? So you have to chug it if you lick the glass.
Is that like ownership? Like if you like.
Yeah. So it's the thing. Now. You can sip it as a cocktail if you want, but it's better if you lick it and then finish it.
So, Bree, if I lick you, you're mine.
Yes. Okay. So the drink, it's mostly alcohol, and it's great because Pride.
Duh.
So it starts off with a shot of Pink Whitney. It's a shot of Pink Whitney to start off, and all the measurements are subjective. So just like measure them however the fuck you want. Because it's your body.
So basically it's like whatever you feel in that moment.
Yes. So it's Pink Whitney. And then this person.
What the fuck is Pink Whitney?
It's pink lemonade vodka. It's good stuff. Pink Whitney vodka. Yeah. And then on top of that you put
I have my doubts.
It's what Will had at the. Will's had it before. I think I got some at the excursion, but Will loves his Pink Whitney. But it's just pink lemonade vodka. I did not
have that excursion, but the excursion was a weekend, so
it was a weekend. But it's just pink lemonade vodka, so it just tastes like lemonade. So you put that in, and then you get some Malibu, like just regular Malibu, so coconut flavor. You pour as much of that in as you want to. Yeah, Pink Whitney is a yummy lady. Yeah. So you get your Pink Whitney and your Malibu, and then the original recipe, not in the video, but the original was for pineapple vodka. You can choose that if you want, but this person was like, I don't have pineapple vodka. I have pineapple moonshine. And so put pineapple moonshine in it.
You want me rolling on the floor and vomiting? Yes, because that's a lot of sugar.
Yes.
That's a lot of sugar.
Alcohol. It's mostly straight alcohol. So you got Pink Whitney, Malibu, and pineapple moonshine, and then you put a splash of orange juice on top. You lick it and you finish it, and it's like a whole like half glass full, like a rocks glass full. You do that, so it's like it's pretty much all alcohol.
Fuck.
It tastes good though. It's a tasty drink. It's tasty.
Like my Pride drink is.
It's tasty
because I was in this gay bar like years ago. And the bartender, I was like, hey, I want vodka and cranberry. And it was like vodka, and a little bit of pink for color. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Oh yeah. The Pink Whitney's not that sweet. The Pink Whitney's not that sweet. It's more lemony. It's more lemony.
Okay, I will tell you what I have learned. as a elder drunk is that more sugar is bad.
Yeah,
you gotta
that'll give you the hangover.
pace.
Yeah, but
I
it's a
don't
good
want to,
drink.
and
It's a
I
good
don't
drink,
want to,
though.
and I don't want to throw up. I don't want to throw up.
Okay, but imagine. Okay, you're at our house. We can make you the Pink Whitney cocktail. We're sitting outside. We got the hookah. We've got whatever flavor hookah you want. We're just passing it around.
I got a bathing suit that's gonna show off my titties. So,
and we got a pool. Like that's what we do this for. It's fine. We're good. Yeah, it's very tart. The little bit. Yeah, it's more lemony than sweet. Like it's more lemon.
Okay, that's fine.
It's like lemon flavor. Yeah.
Okay, like I will date it. I always say like you date a drink, like you taste it and feel like, can I have a relationship with you? It's
tasty because it's basically lemonade, pineapple, coconut, and like a splash of orange juice, and it's good. It's like tropical heaven. It's just like fruity tropical heaven.
It's not second. It's just like so.
Yeah, and we have a hammock that can hold, and we have a 2-person hammock out back that we can platonically cuddle in. So
I love platonic cuddles. Like
we also have a bed that we can in the sex shed or the pool house that we can platonically cuddle into and do the sexy things. So we can do all the things.
Listen, like, are you going to tell me that listen, I am an open queer.
We'll do whatever.
We'll and sexy stuff. I can do both.
We'll have fun. Yeah, we'll have fun.
It's gonna be a good time. I have no shame.
We'll have fun.
As I've gotten older, I've hit the point in myself. I've hit the point in my adulthood that I don't give a fuck. Like, I am not here to make you comfortable.
Hey, yeah, we got the stuff.
I'm also like, you don't like fun. You don't like fun.
Yeah, no, we'll have fun. We'll have so much fun.
I'll kiss everybody. I will kiss everybody. I am. Listen. Yeah. Okay, so Ben, I told the Apostate Sisters you need to be on their channel, okay? And Nancy, my inner wife, gave me my squeezy boob.
A squeezy boob, yeah.
A squeezy boob. So I was like, and we have plans at some point, at some atheist event, we're gonna be drunk in a hotel room and we're gonna make out and squeeze in titties.
Do it.
It's gonna be a thing.
Hey, do it. Go squeeze some titties and make out. Do it.
Yeah.
All the power to you.
And this was after one conversation. So
hey, power to you. Yeah.
I know. That's you gotta love some chaotic queers. Carr is very concerned about the road trip from driving from El Paso because they drove from El Paso to Fort Worth or something similar, and they were like, it was terrible. They were by themselves. I'm like, listen, it's gonna be you, me, Ben, and probably a couple other chaotic queers. It's gonna be fine. And I said, we're gonna split the driving. It's gonna be a great day. I said, don't worry, because they're like, wow, Ben hasn't done this before. I was like, no, so they were very. I was like, Car's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. We'll shelter Cara. It'll be fine.
No, we're gonna be like Cara. It's fine. We're gonna relieve because poor Cara is working for FEMA right now, and that poor them.
Oh yeah.
Poor them. So, for example, I'm just gonna use this as an example because we were talking the other night, and the new head of FEMA wanted all the rules, regulations, and policies of FEMA put onto one piece of paper.
Okay. Yeah. That's not going to work.
Yeah. That's not going to work. Also didn't know we had a hurricane season.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the chaos we live in. I love it so much. But they also said that the only reason why they're not quitting is because in a few years when there's a class action lawsuits that they do get fired. I was like, good plan for unlawful firing. So good plan for them. Anyway, how big of it's just a regular piece of paper. It's just a regular one. It is nuts. This is the thing. I feel like we every day's opposite day. One, every day's opposite day. But two, also I'm glad there's sane people trying to do their job. So there's that. Though but I also feel like everything's just dumb. Everything's dumb.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, because like when I was talking about you the other night with my best friend about like the stupid trans bill.
Mm-hmm.
And they go because he's gay and he works in the mental health field as a peer counselor with younger people, and he can't be out because if he was out, then I'm his beer, by the way. I'm his girlfriend. And because it's one of those things about like when you exist in these worlds of people, like if you're queer, you can't do your job, which I don't understand why that is a thing. I don't get it. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand like who you sleep with and how you identify has any ability for you to do your job. Like I'm queer and it doesn't affect my job in any fucking way at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Yeah.
So please explain. So like it's like I was like I just don't understand. Like it's also isn't it like throwing everything into fucking chaos because there's people in like upper levels of positions that were queer people that are just like, yeah, no. Like, well, no, it's by design. To be fair, it's by design because that's fascism by design. I'm sorry, I'm on a mood. I'm in a mood.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm just mad. It's my channel. I'm mad. I'm mad over bullshit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry. I'm just mad. Anyway, but
no, you're good.
But also too, like I think also too, like, and especially in our community that we're supposed to be skeptics, this affects this like like in evolution, the micro affects the macro. Like you pointed out, like, do you want to be the person that is talking that they're looking for evidence of like, hey, even the atheists think that trans people shouldn't be given any sort of like authority in any sort of way. Like, do you want to be part of that movement? Do you want to be, or people of color or whatever? Like, do you want to be part of that shit? And I think that it's not something like we're talking about like little bullshit in our community, but when you have a platform and when certain people have thousands of followers, that's going to affect things in ways that you might not be ready for.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I'm sorry. I was on a rant. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good. I think today was just like rant central. The topic should just be rant. The topic should just be us ranting.
I was debating, like, should I just do a day where Seth Andrews like does his rants? I'm like, should I just come on here and just bitch about something that's just pissing me off that way? Like just for an hour? Like just like, hey, do you want to listen to me bitch about something for an hour and I'll just respond to my comment section?
Yeah.
All right, so tell the people where they can find you and what you have coming up and shit.
Okay. You can find me at I guess my YouTube is Dr. Ben Hamilton now. That's like the official like hashtag. Although if you search Dr. Ben Medical Myths, you'll probably find me. We're bringing back medical myths at some point. I'm trying to go live
I really
after
want to do one on I told you I really want to do one on feminine healthcare.
Yeah. So that's gonna be coming back. I'm more often streaming on Twitch now. Pretty much every weekday, I'll be streaming on Twitch, just playing simulation games. It'll be a great time doing like House Flipper. It's kind of my new thing that I picked up is flipping houses. I'm also playing like making kebabs and also what else have I got? Ships at Sea, all those games. So come hang out there. We got trivia nights on Fridays over on Twitch as well.
It is trivia nights is the best night. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play because it was a sparse night this past week. So I'm gonna bring back the same questions for beer, band, or bud next time. So everybody come join us. You get a topic, like I give you a title, and you have to tell me if it is a beer, a band, or a bud. It's actually very hard. It's a very hard game. So come join us for that. And
beer, band, or bud.
Yep. So
this sounds right
good.
up my alley. Like,
oh yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Like, as someone well versed in bands, beer, and bud.
Yeah.
I am now
so
intrigued.
You'll have to guess which category it falls under. And then I'm doing a talk on anti-vax rhetoric tomorrow, which will be great with Clyde Donovan's channel. I know Helen is going to be there. It'll be fun. And then what else? I'm usually on Talk Heathen and the Transatlantic Colin show, so pop in there as well.
All right. So this is like, again, we were very ADHD, which is the brand of my channel.
Yes.
So
Fuck
I love you.
ADHD.
You are like, I love you so much. Like, you don't like, thank you so much for being here, because I love you so fucking much.
I promise next time I will be here on time and not.
Yeah, you'll be here on
reading the
time. Exactly.
Yes,
like,
yes.
well, are you going to do my pride panel next Sunday?
I could do it.
Yeah. Bree's gonna be here.
Yeah, I'll be here. Bree's gonna be here. I'll be here.
Okay, well, because I'm gonna do a pride panel. So I'm doing a pride panel next Sunday. Talking about queer shit, because it's a thing going on right now. Shocking, I know.
I'll be on time. I'll be on time for the pride panel.
Okay, I will. No, like, to be fair, like, you are not. To be fair, I invited other people. Like, I'm like 7 p.m. and they're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Where are you?" And they're like, "You said it was 7," and I'm like, "Yes, Eastern time." So,
the time is fun.
Yeah. So, but also, I don't care. Like, I talked about Pomskis and kittens, so it worked out great.
Fuck yeah.
Like, if you can talk about Pomskis and kittens, like, it doesn't.
But you
really
have
matter.
full rights to give me shit over it, though. So
I will give you
full rights to give me shit. So
I will always give you shit. Okay, so Miss Non Sequitur is going to be here on Monday. Which, honey, you have to DM me a photo and whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Coleman Watts will be here next Thursday. I don't know what me and Coleman are going to talk about, but probably bread pill shit that he was involved in. Because he was involved in red pill culture. And then he got out of that. So we'll probably talk about that. And then I'm going to my pride panel. And then Mikey from Neil's channel is going to be on the following Thursday. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So that's what I got coming up. If you want to be on the show, email me here. If you know someone that wants to be on the show, email me here. So do that. Please like and subscribe. And yes, I know you're like, honey, I know you're working on a subject. Just let me know so I can make a thumbnail and promote it before Monday. So anyway, if you or someone you know also needs some secular help, go to recoveringfromreligion.org. And also, if somebody needs some therapy, go to secularsupport.org. Do the things. Other than that, I'm going to be on the nonprofits the third week of the month in June. I'm going to do that, and probably going to invade somebody's podcast event at some point or another. It's going to be a thing. I'm definitely going to show up on Ben's stream on Twitch. That will happen. Other than that, I wish everybody a really great night. Again, come see Miss Non Sequitur on Monday. Do that. Okay. And other than that, everybody be kind, be skeptical, give someone a compliment, and I will see you all here on Monday. And bye, motherfuckers. Good night. Bye. Thank you, Ben. Bye.